Leafs game night live from Scotiabank Arena. New Jersey is here. Sheldon Keefe is here. And so is Leafs coach Craig Berube. Tonight's coach's comment is powered by your Ontario Honda dealers. Up your game. Lease the CRV from 2.99% up to 36 months. Visit HondaOntario.com. Coach Berube, and if he can draw the same success that they had with JT out from when Matthews was out.
Yeah, I think so. Guys just got to step up, and somebody's, getting a better opportunity, and we just got to, when Austin was out, we played a real strong team game every night, relied on our checking and did the right things and, special teams and things like that. So, we got to stick with the program here. We got to check hard tonight. We got to find a way to score more goals. That's what it boils down to.
Was there any temptation to use Fraser Minton at all today?
There is. I felt just got, hasn't practiced with us, and, it's not so much of an emergency. We have players here that's been with us and practiced and played. So I thought about it for a while, but I went with what I went with.
Will you lean on in John's spot there in the top six in the middle?
Yeah, I think Max Domi right now for me moves up there in that spot. I've used him up there before with Nylander, so for me, he's a guy that can go up there and provide some offense and playmaking ability. So we're going to need that from him.
What do you see from him this season, Craig? I'm sure not the point production that he is used to or happy with.
Yeah, for sure. I think I talked about it the other day. He needs to get on the inside more, and I think he needs to shoot pucks more, which I thought he has the last couple games. And skate. He's a good skater. He's got to use his speed, and it's just a little bit more direct shooting, just more pucks going to the net in general. And then for him, personally, getting it on the inside a little bit more around the net and things like that to get some different types of goals.
Did you have any kind of a relationship with Sheldon or speak with him before you took this job? I
have before, yes. I've spoke with him a few times.
He didn't give you any advice on taking over this particular job?
He was open for it. I think I wanted to come in here and just figure it out myself, to be honest with you. Mike Van Ryn was here last year, who I've known from the past, so I got a lot of information from him.
How has it been? Has anything surprised you about coaching here?
Just you guys. No, I'm just kidding. I think it's. I loved it. It's a great spot. It really is. There's a lot going on. We all know that. It's obviously a huge market here. I love the players. I think they're very professional. They work extremely hard, and they want to do well and win. The organization's been fantastic. Next to none. They got everything here, and anything you need, or they do it all. So it's been great work with Brad and Shani. Got a real good relationship with those guys. So it's it's been very positive for me.
And it's been positive for the Leafs. Here's the dumb question. Based on, you played on a number of teams, so how do you know which team's going to respond to injuries and which team isn't? Is it a depth thing? Is it that simple?
Well, I think it's more of an accountability thing and a system thing. And, this team has weathered the storm without Austin Matthews, who missed a significant portion of games. You've seen 10 out, OEL's out. And, for an extended period of time, Stolar's their number one goalie at the time. So, yep. And Wall, who was supposed to be the number one goalie. So, the adversity test, I think they've passed it. And remember, 6 weeks ago, there were 6 AHL guys on this roster. So, when you put everything in perspective, they're still in first place. So all that stuff that they've had to deal with adversity and injuries, and then now a 3-game dip, I don't really see where the connection is, where the sky is falling. And, you're looking at some other teams throughout the league. We talked about New Jersey Devils. They've lost 6 of 8. The Florida Panthers, they lost 4 in a row in November. Tampa Bay recently lost 4 in a row, and 3 of those losses losses were to San Jose, Montreal, Anaheim. Winnipeg's lost 4 in a row in November. They recently lost 4 of 5. So this is not new in today's NHL. But I think the one thing we can agree on is they've come out a little bit of flat, and they have not played with a lot of energy and gumption. But maybe that's a product of 9 back-to-back games this season. Maybe that's a product of 4 back-to-backs this month. That really, really weighs on you, and that affects your energy level. So I think tonight, that's what we're going to be looking for on there. Are they going to come out and create energy? And sometimes it's tough to find it. That's where you need a big hit. That's where you need to get the crowd involved early, maybe with an early goal or a big goal, or finding a way just to sort of create that energy that they've been lacking the last week and a half.
So, Stu, are you saying that they could go into the playoffs, win the first round, and people might not be happy because they didn't sweep?
There's going to be people unhappy that they win the Stanley Cup because they can finally die. They've been waiting so long. But it's Toronto sports market, and you heard Craig Berube mention he was surprised, and it was a little bit tongue-in-cheek. But again, we know it is the market of extremes. But the one thing we could say, when the team is winning, it's a different atmosphere. The city has a little bit of a jolt to it. But again, it's tough, and I think it's maybe just the frustration of years past, where they're supposed to be further along and have many more playoff wins than they have. So I can understand the frustration because this team has not made it past the first round in X amount of years. But again, I think we have to give them a little bit more slack with the social equity that they've gotten with playing some good hockey this year, with all those circumstances that could have spelled disaster for this season.
Not quite 58 years, but getting close. There's no way around this story. Sheldon Keefe is back. He's going to be behind the Devils bench. He's had a pretty good start with the Devils. They've got a record that's comparable to the Toronto Maple Leafs, albeit second in the Metropolitan Division. Here's Coach Keefe on the emotion of returning to Toronto.
It's different, and different than all those experiences, for sure. There's not a lot of emotion attached to it right now, quite honestly. It feels very familiar, as I said, everything from my drive in this morning to walk in, very familiar in that sense, but it'll be different here tonight, on the other side of it. But I also don't want to make it bigger than it is, because it really is ultimately a hockey game, and the players will determine the outcome on the ice on both sides, and I'll look to enjoy it for what it is, and then we'll move along.
How did your years in Toronto make you a better coach? I'm assuming you going into Jersey.
Well, I do feel that, my first experience, in the NHL was one in which, I had such an opportunity to coach not only a great team, but such a terrific franchise with so many great resources and expectations to win and all of that. So I think that my growth as a coach is perhaps expedited in lots of ways, because you experience so many things that maybe takes a little bit longer in other places. So I think I know the league a lot better. Believe I've got a clear understanding of how to succeed in the league. As a young coach, you're sort of finding your way through that in your first couple of seasons. But I think you guys have a very clear sense of who I am as a coach and what I can offer to the group, and how to succeed in the league. And certainly, for all those reasons, grateful for the opportunity that I had here. As I've said a number of times, forever disappointed we weren't able to deliver and have more success in the playoffs, which is part of why change is required, and I think change has been good.
Just as a follow-up to that, I've known Leaf coaches who were actually relieved when they were relieved. Did you have any of those sentiments at all?
I loved every second of being the Leafs coach, so I wouldn't say that. And then you can just tell them the fact that I left my family here. I was very comfortable here, and part of that is, I haven't had as much as pressure and expectation, all these things that are part of being a Leafs coach. And for me, of having young kids that are out and about with sports and such, I was probably out in the public more than most Leafs coaches. I never once had a negative experience. Treated nothing but with great respect. And even this summer, being around, I never left all summer, other than the odd trip to Jersey here and there, but just being around and people stopping to come up and thank me for my time here. So, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with the job and lots of privilege. And I loved every single day that I coached the Leafs.
Sheldon Keefe, head coach of the New Jersey Devils, and based on what he did here with the Leafs during the regular season, some great up-tempo, high-scoring seasons and able to translate that into turning the Devils around too, right?
Yeah, and there's some fans that are calling, hey, what happened to that, Sheldon Keefe type hockey with the puck possession and the high, F3 and, that puck possession procession that I call it. But, again, we talk about ultimately it's about the success in the playoffs and winning, and coaches are hired to be fired, like I mentioned before. But, again, he's found a new home in New Jersey. He's a young coach, and he's got many years ahead of him. And, again, I think, he talks about the respect that he's still getting amongst the fan base. He came in and did his job, but ultimately he fell short of having success in the playoffs.
Yeah, as you look at it, certainly over the last 3 games, we kind of missed that high-end offensive play. But there is no system that wins you 82 games in a row during the regular season. So you got to stick to the system and weather the storm, right?
Yeah, and again, I understand it's not, I understand it's not necessarily the most pretty hockey, right? But you look at it, right? Mitch Marner's on pace for his first 100-point season. Nylander, before his little spell that he was on pace for plus 40+ goals. Obviously, Austin Matthews got injured. You're seeing Matthew Nyes flirting with 25-30. So the system is not necessarily the prettiest, but the results, and it's not necessarily hurting everyone's overall production. So yes, the eye test, it doesn't necessarily pass, but results, and that's the business that we're in, and so far they're doing their job. Yeah,
and in the seconds remain, it should that they don't default to the way it was and work through the system and find the answers within the system the coach has.
You're not turning it into a pond hockey match against this New Jersey Devils team, because they are the 100-meter dash champions in track meets. So manage the puck, continue to get pucks below the dots. Markstrom has been playing great hockey. He's got 21 wins on the season. You got to get in his eyes. And the power play, please. Power play. We got to get it together. Can you hear us down there? Shoot the puck retrievals. Simplify.
Is there a problem with the power play, Stu?
I think so. Just a little bit complacent. You got to mix it up. 2 units. And if you're not going after 40 seconds, get off. Put power 3 unit on. And if you don't get any better, I'm coming out there.
You heard him. Well, set up the opening faceoff for you next. This is Leafs Game Night on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
At BDC, we know being an entrepreneur means always being ready to take on challenges and seize opportunities. Get up to $100,000 with our small business loan to make your projects a reality. Simple, quick, and with no application fees, the BDC online loan offers you flexibility to protect your cash flow with favorable repayment terms. Apply now at bdc.ca/online loan. Certain conditions apply. BDC. Financing, advising, know-how.
Ontario is helping you keep more of what's yours. We cut the gas tax and scrap the license plate sticker fee and drive clean program for most vehicles, saving drivers across the province hundreds of dollars each and every year. Learn more about how you're saving more at ontario.ca/keeping costs down. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
Hey Insiders, thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight for this Leafs game, this Raptors game, this college football playoff game, this NFL playoff game. We do it all here on Toronto Sports Insider, and I just wanted to say thank you for making this the place to be, to hang out and watch sports together as a community and keeping it classy. Don't forget, please hit the like button, please share the link. That brings more fans to the chat to hang out with us and have some fun. And don't forget that a percentage of revenue every single game is donated to SickKids Hospital in Toronto. I am standing here at the Tony Rotino Senior Center in Cape Coral Yacht Club that no longer exists after Hurricane Ian. This is where I grew up. Thank you for inspiring me and helping me create this community where we make a difference with SickKids Hospital, because it is nothing but success in the future for us and SickKids, and we are going to make a difference in my mother's name. Mom, Karen, I miss you. I love you so much. Let's go Leafs. Let's go Raptors. Thanks for being here.
New Jersey Devils. Well, let's find out. Molson Canadian Leafs hockey starts now.
It's time for Molson Canadian Leafs hockey on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. The Leafs live here.
Oh, yes, they do. Welcome inside Scotiabank Arena. Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart with you. Joe Bowen and Jimmy Ralph standing by, getting their accounts and descriptions in order. Welcome to Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey, and it is Sheldon Keefe and the visiting New Jersey Devils here tonight against the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are skidding 3 losses in a row. The lineup goes like this: Matthews between Marner and Nyes, Domi between Nylander and McMahon, Holmberg centering Robertson and Pacioretty, Camp centering Dewar and Steven Lorenz, and on the blue line, Riley Myers, McCabe Tanev, OEL Timmins, Wall starts in goal. Stu, what do you make of that?
Yeah, it's a bit of a blender, but Craig Berube is not afraid to do that. You see Max Domi bumped up to the second line. I really feel that can help him get him out of his slump that he's in. Only, I believe, 3 points in his last 10 games. Nylander's been struggling as well, but I think the three of them can get some chemistry, and Holmberg's inserted back into the lineup, and that's a guy that I feel can make the most of his opportunity as well. Bobby McMahon has probably been one of the most consistent forwards the last 10-15 games, and Nick Robertson, he gets the puck on his stick, it's probably going into the net. So I think the Maple Leafs, they have to take advantage of this home crowd. We have heard the boo birds in the last couple games, but I believe after this home game and the next two, 9 of their next 12-13 games are on the road. So you got to take advantage of some of the home cooking. So for me, a good start is key. Get the puck in deep, let the glass get some rattling, get in front of Markstrom, and try to get that beneficial first goal.
You know, just a couple of games ago, we're talking about Steven Lorenz moving up to the top line. Nyes returns to that line, and it's really hard to get away from Nyes, Matthews, and Marner, isn't it?
No, they have the most chemistry, right? And you saw Austin Matthews with that beautiful goal last game versus the Dallas Stars with a great pass from Mitch Marner. Nyes is sort of the workhorse in there in retrieving pucks. So I think the three of them have the most chemistry. But tonight, I think Domi, I'm counting a big night for Domi. Nylander, I think, is finally the night that he breaks his slump. And I could see the Leafs rebounding from their 3 losses in a row. And
as you can hear in the background, the Leafs have hit the ice. Jake McCabe back in. This is a key addition.
He's the stabilizer. And I know Tanev has probably been their most consistent, best defenseman, but he has been the unsung hero. So an added boost. He simplifies his game. Great job in getting pucks out, and he adds that physical element. A much welcome boost to the defensive corps for the Leafs tonight.
And the blue liner who's out is Benoit.
Faltering a little bit, but again, I don't mind his game. Again, he can give you 12-13 minutes physical, get pucks out. I think for him, he's just got to simplify, but that competition is bringing up the quality of play for the whole entire group.
Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph are next with the opening faceoff. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
The road to Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans is on Sirius XM.
Mahomes in the pocket, floats a pass near side. He's got the touchdown!
Right along with NFL radio leading up to the divisional round as their panel of experts discuss the matchups.
Jaden Daniels is unbelievable. He can throw from the pocket. You want to scramble, we'll take the game over. He can do that too.
Catch exclusive coverage of the NFL playoffs on Sirius XM NFL Radio Channel 88 and on the Sirius XM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
I think general managers must sit back in their chairs, Gore, and they must say, okay.
Do a quick run through. What's up, insiders? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Devils and the Maple Leafs. Please hit that like button down below. Let's get some more Leafs fans in here to cheer on our Leafs tonight. We've got to win tonight. This is the last game I'm doing from the Cape Coral office, and I'm standing at the racquetball court. Well, my dad told me he was going to beat me at 99. There's no racquetball court here anymore. It's time to go home. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you for hanging out with us and hitting the like button. And go Leafs go. We'll see you guys back in the chat.
Resume to have, so we're pretty confident with it and pretty confident with the team that we're going to have playing in front of them.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app. The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
Avalanche General Manager Chris McFarland. What went in to maybe change that duo in goal?
With the work of our scout, Wedgwood's experience, he was a veteran guy. He's been through the grind. We were very bullish on McKenzie, and when the opportunity came to add him, we just felt it was the right move for us, long term.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app. The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
Devils head coach Sheldon Keefe, you decided to jump right back into it.
New Jersey Devils reached out really within an hour or so of the news coming out of me being let go. And the more I got to know Tom and his vision for the team and seeing the situation, it was a tremendous opportunity that I couldn't let pass by.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Playing in the Four Nations face-off for Team USA, Connor Hellebuck.
How do you feel about getting a chance to play for USA?
The type of hockey it's going to be fun. There's going to be some high-pressure games. You're going to be putting your country's jersey on. You're representing your country. I think we're going to have a great fan base around us, and I'm really looking forward to what it brings.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scored the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Ray Hudson here with an important announcement. You can listen to your favourite Sirius XM FC shows on the all-new Sirius XM app, now available for all subscribers.
Leafs continue their homestand as they tangle with the Devils from New Jersey here this evening. And the starting netminders and the starting lineup brought to you by Molson, the official beer sponsor of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Joseph Woll, 14-8-0, 2.65 and a .908 save percentage, is in against the great acquisition that the Devils made. And Mr. Markstrom, 21-8-4 and 5-9-2 against the Leafs lifetime with a 2.13 goals against average in those games. But he has been a difference maker here for the New Jersey Devils.
That really has been a concern. And Jake Allen came in and was admirable last year in his stretch, but has done a great job spelling off Markstrom when he's had the opportunity.
Fired down into the Toronto zone off the hop. The puck around back of the Toronto net. A centering pass has come out all the way down on goal. Markstrom will play it off to his defense. Nylander into the forecheck, gets a puck into the near corner, in the far corner rather, works around back of the net. Working to come out now, reverses his field and goes back of the goal for Domi. Domi wedged in against the boards by Siegenthaler. The puck comes back on the wall, kept in there by McMahon. Bouncing puck in front, Nylander couldn't get it. Riley will keep it alive for Toronto and send it around back of the net. Good forechecking here for the Maple Leafs. Siegenthaler plays it back of the goal. Leafs get to it again. Nylander couldn't get it in front. And the Devils will play it out and down into the Leaf zone off a stick. And Dawson Mercer has it wedged against the boards, and he'll do a nice job of keeping it there until his teammates get a change going. Puck does come free, and Morgan Riley playing it off the boards for Nyes. Up ahead for Domi. He's going to the bench, but gets it on to Marner. That's turned over and brought back now by New Jersey in on the right side. Trying to work in along the boards. Plaque gets it in front of the net. Save made there by Wall. And a lead pass for Nyes has gone astray. And it's gone down into the Devil zone for an icing. The forward lines, Marner, Matthews, and Nyes. Domi moves up to take John Tavares' spot between Nylander and Bobby McMahon. Pontus Holmberg back in the lineup, centering Nick Robertson and Max Pacioretty. David Camp has Connor Dewar and Steven Lorenz as his wingers. Face off to the right in the Toronto end. Draw one by New Jersey. Back to the point. Pesce trying to get a shot in. That was steered wide by Wall. Centering effort didn't work for New Jersey, and the Leafs have it back in their own zone. And here's Jake McCabe back into the lineup after being concussed in that fight. And his pass doesn't connect and turns into an icing, and it'll come all the way back. And the face-off in the Toronto zone is brought to you by Alpine Credits. you own your own home and need a loan, Alpine Credits can help. Get approved at alpinecredits.ca.
Now the Leafs come in trying to avoid a 4-game losing streak. The 3 in a row they've lost in regulation is a season high, but Devils have only won 2 of their last 8 coming in, and they had lost 4 in a row.
Pass breaks off the pad of McCabe. He couldn't catch up to it, though. Devils on the right side with Dougie Hamilton, sending it in over the line. Oliver Ekman-Larsson over for Timmins. His pass ahead was blocked. Robertson couldn't make a play. Now trying to tip it back. Does, but it's played up on the wing, and now here the Devils back to the point, and the shot is gloved by Wall. Saw that one all the way off the stick of Brendan Dillon. And a face-off will come in the Toronto zone to the right.
Well, the Leafs have struggled on the offensive side of things. New Jersey Devils are the same, Joe. The last 8 games, 15 goals for the Devils. Now they've only given up 23. But it seems, they're in that same trend as the Leafs are. Everything's a 1-goal game, right? 2-1, 3-2. Comes down to a power play goal. The power play, one of the best in the league. 3rd overall.
They're specialty teams.
They're
very good.
They've struggled as late as well. And I'm not sure they're booing in New Jersey.
There's a loose puck in front, and now backhand scores! The Leafs were at their blue line, but Hughes, for some reason, just decided to hang around in the offensive zone, and when the puck came to him, he was all alone with Wall and no one within 20 feet of him.
He actually fell, Joe, and was in the corner to the right of Joseph Wall. He gets up, the Leafs couldn't get it past the blue line, and it was just thrown to the front of the net. It was off the face-off that Hughes went down. And then he got back up and simply turned, raced towards the net.
What a break.
And makes a move in front of Joseph Wall. And this is a bit of a fluke on one side. On the other, Hughes isn't moving. His feet are square, and he made one move and Wall bit on it.
Shot off the chest of Wall, around back of the net now for Dowling. Got it back to the point. Nylander took a healthy run at the defenseman on that side. Ekman-Larsson chasing after it in the corner. Tatar pinned to the boards. Domi is able to get the puck freed up for McCabe. McCabe up on the left wing now, and here's Bobby McMahon to center. He'll play it in on the left wing. Played down in around back of the net. Devils get there first, and Justin Dowling will get it out at center, where it's intercepted there by Pontus Holmberg, but he misplays the puck, and the Devils have it again in their own end.
Pontus Holmberg's in the lineup because he scored his first NHL goal against the Devils and his last one, which turned out to be that shorthanded game winner when Anthony Stolarz stole one from New Jersey.
Played up on the wing, and out come the Leafs at center with Robertson on the wing for Pontus Holmberg. Driving on the backhand, tried to go to the front of the net, but it was knocked off his stick back of the goal. Comes back to Morgan Riley with a shot. No one could redirect that towards the net as it went harmlessly wide. Now in the corner is Holmberg. Back of the net for Robertson. Robertson double teamed over there. Lost the handle on it. Puck comes free though. Robertson with it again. Puts on the brakes. Trying to control it. Now on the boards. Still has it. Swings it around on the far side. One of the Devils' sticks is broken. One of the defensemen. Back into the corner near side. Robertson gets it back to the point. Riley with a shot goes off a leg. Near corner now for Holmberg. Holmberg trying to reverse his field. Lost the handle on it. Devils are going to get it out, and they'll get a stick into the hands of one of the players that didn't have it after passing his to the defenseman. Riley shoots it right back in again. Dillon lost it in a swinging shot. Stolen by Matthews, but a save made by Markstrom. Puck back at the Toronto blue line. Fed ahead for Matthews, and then he overskated it. And quickly played, but stolen by Marner to Matthews, and he mishandles that. Not a good shift here for Austin Matthews. On a couple of occasions, he had the puck on his stick and then completely mishandled it. Nico Hischier plays it in over the line into the Toronto zone. The Leafs regroup it. Brought on by Oliver Ekman-Larsson to center. Stops it up, works into the corner. Took a shot from a sharp angle that Markstrom handles. And is able to get a glove on it and stop play with a face-off coming in the New Jersey zone.
Well, you look at the long rebuild for the New Jersey Devils, because even coming into this game, Joe, they missed the playoffs last year. They've missed 10 of 12. And remember a couple of years ago when they beat the Rangers in the first round, everybody thought this is a team that's on the rise. But if you go back to the rebuild, since 2003, only 4 teams have selected first overall more than once. Of course, Edmonton leads that group, but we've got Whistle again. Buffalo took Owen Power and Rasmus Dahlin. Devils, Jack Hughes and Nico Hischier. And, of course, you had McDavid, Nel Yakupov, RNH, and Taylor Hall with the Edmonton Oilers. And Penguins took Sidney Crosby and Marc-Andre Fleury first overall. So you can see sometimes if you get lucky, it'll work long term. Sometimes it takes way more time than you'd like.
Well, the Leafs got lucky with Matthews. There's a shot off the glove of Markstrom, deflected into the corner. And out come the Devils, but Hughes has it knocked away. Played back towards the blue line. Unable to get to it. Nylander, now he does to Domi. Domi backhanding it in. Tanev thinks better of pursuing. And Kovacevic will get it out into the center ice area. McCabe quickly on the left wing for Nylander. Nylander looking in front of the net, works down into the near corner. One hands it around the boards. It'll find Myers. Back to the point for Domi, who is filling in. Domi down the boards is pinned there by Palat. And the Devils just launch it high to center ice. Shot right back in again. It's a delayed offside that Connor Dewar is not aware of. And the linesman will blow the play dead. Devin Berg and Kyle Flemington are the linesmen. Michael Markovic and Pierre Lambert are the referees this evening. 1-0 New Jersey. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Are you ready to thrive in 2025? Kickstart your personal upgrade on the SiriusXM app with our collection of top self-improvement podcasts.
The Mel Robbins Podcast.
The Ramsey Show.
Ask Eliza anything.
Soundtracks for meditation.
Learn and grow on a daily basis.
Genre-spanning workout channels and more.
Soul Cycle Radio.
I work out. Just search 2025 on the SiriusXM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
I think general managers must sit back in their chairs, Gore, and they must say, okay, if we make a coaching change here, chances are that at least for 10 games, we're more than competitive, and we're probably going to win much more than we lose.
Coaches are probably yelling an expletive, right? About, whatever, how that particular trend is going. So you're right. So far, it's like perfect.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Ray Hudson here with an important announcement. You can listen to your favourite Sirius XM FC shows on the all-new Sirius XM app, now available for all subscribers.
Jake McCabe is in charge of corralling the pucks in the goal, playing them out to for the shooters in the warm-ups, and then for the line rushes. What happens when he's not here? How do you decide who is going to do the cleanup of the pucks? I mean, this is important stuff.
The hierarchy, I think.
Is it? How do you...
Like this,
rookie's not going to be entrusted with that important job.
No. You got to go to a special summer camp and
the
everything.
whole warm-up up. Now, when you played, did you have a specific guy that came in and cleaned the pucks up for you and everything?
That was me. I just turned the net around.
I thought you were going to say, no, the linesman came in and got it himself.
Yeah, no, I was talking about practice. Yeah, you want them? Here they are.
If I give them to you, they're going to shoot them at me. So, no, I'm not giving them to you. Puck down in the Devil zone, punched out at center ice. Timmins gets to his defense partner, and Oliver Ekman-Larsson gets it ahead, and Dewar turns, gives it back to OEL. He hits the blue line, played in over the line. Shot by Lorenz into the far corner. Camp got there but couldn't get it past Luke Hughes, who plays into the corner, but now here's Ekman-Larsson with a shot, and seeing it through a maze was Markstrom, and he's going to cover up on it and hold for a face-off in the New Jersey end of the rink. 13-11 to play in the period. Hughes getting the goal, his 18th of the season, to give the Devils a 1-0 lead.
I don't know how you count that as a goal off the rush, right? What would you call it?
Turnover. Really, I guess. No. I mean, he fell down. He was behind everyone, and somehow...
Technically wasn't a breakaway because he stopped.
No.
Did a couple of head fakes before putting it past Joseph Wall, but that is the way things have been going for the Leafs of late. You make a mistake and it ends up in the back of your net.
Hamilton gets it out at center. And I mean, really, in fairness, what was the mistake? You're breaking out. You've had control of the puck. To not realize there was a guy behind you, I suppose, is...
Yeah, and again, it was sort of out of a scrum. It was just poked to the middle of the ice.
Yeah.
And Hughes happened to be there. But I guess if you want to be a little hypercritical, you say you can't be the last man out of your own... Like, you can't allow them to be the last one out of your own end. Right? You always say, if you're the last man in your own end, don't carry it out.
Brought on now by Riley. A long shot goes off a stick and caroms up into the screen. So a face-off coming in the New Jersey end. 12:49 to play in the period. The Devils have had 4 shots. The Leafs 3. The Leafs hadn't had any practice sessions for almost a month. So they get a day to have a practice. Why don't we injure someone?
Yeah.
And kind of a freakish looking, like a half-ice drill.
Yeah, tangled up with Tavares, with
and
Chris
he went
Tanev.
down and he kind of twisted or either a groin or knee. But he's out week to week. Centering pass comes back to Matthews. His shot is blocked and it goes back at the net for Marner. Marner coming out of the scrum. Looks in front. Tried to get it to the blue line, but it was off a skate. And the Devils are going to play it high to center ice. Knocked down there by Bastian, who gets in with a shot. High glove there by Wall. And a face-off will come in the Toronto zone as a result.
All right, players are asked about being booed. Mitch Marner said you ignore it. I believe Nylander said it doesn't matter. We know we're a good team. Is there a proper response to that? I mean, because it seems like you get
telling the truth.
Yeah, which is sometimes we deserve it.
We're in first place. We're doing pretty well.
Yeah.
We're having a great season. I don't think that it's fair to be booed, even though we're having a little struggle at this time. And of course, then what would happen then? Well, now you've opened up the whole can of worms.
Oh, so you're saying it's us against you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So no, I thought your point is well made. It wasn't a whole building booing them out. And we've heard that. Trust me, we've heard that.
And we've heard when they've deserved that.
Yes.
Too. You know, I mean, the bottom line is you're going, okay, so in Florida, Tampa, Boston. Well, Boston, they've been booed at times this year, but Leafs are ahead of Florida and Tampa. I don't remember reading where they've been booed off the ice after losses. Like we said, we understand, you know, mostly for people that maybe are lucky to get to a game, one game a year, that have, if this is the lottery tickets you drew,
and
you're not going to be thrilled with it.
No,
yeah, but I don't know if it's
fair.
You know, 500 people that were in that position to do it.
Here the Devils in with a shot. Glove save made by Wall off the stick of Andre Palat. Another face-off coming in the Toronto zone. Now, this was after the longest win streak they've had this year was 5, and now they're having their longest regulation loss streak. So,
I mean, the bottom line is you try to limit the bleeding, right?
Yep.
You kind of build up, you know, hopefully with the winning streaks, you build up that buffer, you know, like the Winnipeg Jets did with their start. And that way you're not panicked in January or February saying, boy, we got to win for the bulk of the games to get into the playoffs.
Leafs control the face-off in their own zone. Played up on the wing by Nylander. On the boards now for Domi. He was stick handling as he brought it across the line backwards, and the linesman says he didn't have full control over it. So they're going to call an offside.
By the way, even though the Devils have had a so-so stretch, their goaltender, Jacob Markstrom, has been incredible. In his last 15 games, 10-2-3. And in the last 15 games, 24 goals against. How's that for a pretty incredible run? Although it did include back-to-back shutouts that he had against Pittsburgh and the New York Rangers. Stopped 12 shots in each of those two games for the shutout. So,
well, that sounds like Marty Brodeur type numbers.
Yes.
Down into the corner, the Devils get it back to the point. A shot deflects high in the air off the blocker of Wall, but it is taken to safety by Timmins, and now they work it around into the far corner. Ekman-Larsson gets there first to chip it ahead, but Nylander can't get it up the boards cleanly, and it goes around back of the net once more. Leafs are changing, and Timmins has started out with it, then decides that he'll go back behind the goal to wait for his teammates to change. Rather lengthy change there, but now it's up on the wing for Riley. Morgan Riley to center. Off a stick and in over the line. Matthews sends to the far corner, but Marner won't reach it. Grabbed off by Palat, who'll play into the corner for the Devils, and they get it out at center. Leafs moving right to left on your radio dial. Here's Nyes. A pass for Matthews was behind him. Devils punching it out on the right wing and getting it to the line. Nifty little move made there by Pratt to get in over the blue line, but then it's turned over, and Matthews comes back the other way. On the left wing looking for Nyes' help. Got it down into the corner. Spun around there as the puck came free. The Devils are going to launch it high to center, and McCabe and Tanev are back organizing again in their own end as the Leafs continue to change. And up on the wing it comes, and Pontus Holmberg shoots it in. Markstrom couldn't slow it up. Back of the net, Kovacevic trying to pin it up against the wall. Has his man pinned there. Pacioretty tried to dig it free. It comes back to the blue line, just out into neutral ice, despite the efforts of Morgan Riley. Holmberg turning back up ice for Toronto. Hits the line and splits a pair, gets into the corner, stops it up, gets it back to the point. Myers with a wrist shot, off a stick and harmlessly wide. Pacioretty with a good hit in the near corner, trying to free it up and does. Kept alive now by Robertson. In front and a give and go. Robertson from a sharp angle and he missed. And it's gone apparently into the screen because the linesmen have blown the play dead. The officials had no idea. 9.5 minutes to play first period. There is a 1-0 score on the board, and it belongs to the New Jersey Devils. You're listening to Olsen Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Ah, at last, the Subaru winter is here. It's the perfect weather for the beach. Feel the sun's rays on the small amount of skin peeking out of your ski mask. Put on your beach puffer and hear the sound of the waves crashing over the chatter of your teeth. Get out there in winter like it's summer with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive and advanced safety systems. Visit your local Subaru dealer today.
Cheers, Insiders. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight, the Leafs and the Devils. Come on, Leafs, we got to get the victory tonight. We got to beat Coach Keefe and the New Jersey Devils. I just wanted to stop and say a quick thank you for being here and helping me create this amazing community here on Toronto Sports Insider, where we get to hang out together every single Toronto Maple Leafs game. It started right here in this spot. This is my spot. Where are you watching from? Let us know in the chat where you're watching from all over the world. Are you in Canada? Let us know your city and province, the United States, city and state, and international. Hey, Popo, you still hanging out there in Ulaanbaatar in Mongolia? Are you with us tonight? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, everybody. We'll see you back in the chat. Go Leafs, go!
It's part of the fun.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
1-0 New Jersey, and the broadcasting industry today lost an absolute icon. The passing of Bob Uecker in his sleep last night 90 years young, worked right up. This season was still the iconic voice of the Milwaukee Brewers. And fortunately, we got to share him because of his movies and everything else.
Yeah, well, even I mean the first time.
Carson.
Yeah, I think the first time, even before Johnny Carson, was the beer commercials.
Yes. Yep. Pass on the right side, a shot smothered by Markstrom. Just an absolute treasure, and I very accurately suggested that you are the Bob Uecker of the hockey world because of your sense of humor. And 27 years, I've giggled and laughed my way through a lot of things, and a lot of them were really bad hockey games.
Yeah, they were the early 2000s, but I think you and I have always shared that same
sickness,
passion for the game. But then
that sense of humor.
But it's about entertainment, right?
Yeah.
The one thing, and going back to the mentorship, I know I'm jumping around a little bit here. If I had to pick somebody from the broadcasting side, it would be Don Cherry. Because Don helped me a great deal get started and get into it. But I remember one of the things he said, always sound like the guys that people want to have a beer with and watch a game.
Exactly. Yep.
And that's the way Don was. And, like I said, and Bob Uecker was like that. Where it was just like, you saw him and you thought, boy, how much fun would it be?
Oh, boy.
Would it be to sit and have a couple of beers with him and watch a ball game?
And did you see the statue of Uecker that stands as the Leafs get the puck into the front of the net? Ekman-Larsson, a shot blocked, and the rebound to the far side. Kept alive by the Leafs here as they press. Back to the point. Timmins to Ekman-Larsson. Back to Timmins in the far corner. Timmins centers. Domi doesn't shoot it. Back to Ekman-Larsson. He mishandles it. Then when he did shoot it, it went off the blocker of Markstrom. And now the Devils are going to pound it off the glass and get it out at center. Devils in across the line. Here's Mercer trying to get a shot, and that went wide. Just to finish that thought, the statue of Bob Uecker out in front of the ballpark this morning had a single can of Miller Lite, his beer that, of course, he was part of those great commercials. Here the shot taken, blocked there by Nyes. It'll come back out into the center ice area. Leafs break the rush up, play it ahead for Marner. Rink wide pass for Tanev. Center ice, he'll shoot it into the zone. 7:54 to play in the period. 1-0 in favor of the Devils. Leafs turn the puck over, get it off on the left wing side. Morgan Riley can't shoot it at the net. Has to go back into the slot area. Marner twisting and turning with it, still has it, trying to find a man, does. Riley punches it in back of the net for Nyes. Nyes trying to center, had it bouncing back to the blue line. Myers does a great job of keeping it in by knocking Palat on his keister. And it's cleared down by the Devils to center ice. Brought on by Morgan Riley. In for Connor Dewar into the left wing corner. And the Devils are going to play it high into neutral ice. That took a funny bounce away from David Camp. Leafs send it right back in on goal. Markstrom decides to play on and gets it out at center for Curtis Lazar. Lazar ahead for Bastian. Bastian gets it around back of the net for Lazar. Looking in front for McDermott. Lazar taken down. Puck in around back of the net. Timmins intercepts. Got it ahead. And now a quick pass by Camp. Springs his man to center. And it'll be played by Lorenz down into New Jersey territory. 6:38 left to play here in period number 1. 1-0 New Jersey.
Leafs have had longer stretches in the offensive zone time tonight, don't you think? Where they've had good pushes. We saw it early on in their last game against the Dallas Stars, but they've had 2 or 3 shifts where they've really controlled the puck, haven't really made a lot out of it as far as optimum scoring chances, but at least you like the fact that there's a little more control, that it's not just turn the puck over and you get over the line and back the other way.
They are asked the coach about Willie Nylander and his lack of production, and Greg Berube always has the answer. Shoot the puck more.
Yeah.
Can't score if you don't shoot it. Pass across the line for Pacioretty into the corner for Riley. He couldn't get it in front, and the Devils are able to play it up on the wing, and they'll break it out into the center ice area. Brought on now by Siegenthaler. Got it in over the line, then turned the puck over. And the Leafs have it again in their own zone with a pass up by center. And Pontus Holmberg backhands it in and then is upended on a bit of a knee from Paul Cotter.
I always think these, Joe, are kind of iffy plays because Holmberg tries to jump around Cotter. And you know, if there's any kind of contact being made,
he's going to go cartwheel.
Yeah, he's going to go down. And the Leafs got, to me, a bit of a break from it. Although, looking at the replay quickly, Cotter might have stuck the right knee out a little bit.
So a break, and the Leafs get to the power play. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The College Football National Championship is finally here, and Sports Grid Radio and SiriusXM is covering it all from the sports wagering and handicapping perspective. It's two historic programs going head-to-head with Notre Dame versus Ohio State. The line opened up with the Buckeyes as a 9.5-point favorite and a total of 46.5. Make sure you tune in to Sports Grid to get all the live odds, props, and movement leading up to the game on Monday. The place to get the winning edge over the sports books is Sports Grid Radio on SiriusXM Channel 159 in your car and on the SiriusXM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
I think general managers must sit back in their chairs, Gore, and they must say, okay, if we make a coaching change here, chances are that at least for 10 games, we're more than competitive, and we're probably going to win much more than we lose.
Coaches are probably yelling an expletive, right? About, whatever, how that particular trend is going. So you're right. So far, it's like perfect.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. The one that's hanging out with us tonight for the Leafs and the Devils. How come you haven't hit that subscribe button yet? Come on, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell so you don't miss it when we're live for every single Leafs game for the rest of the season and every single game of the NHL playoffs. Welcome to beautiful Cape Coral Yacht Club. Thank you to the city of Cape Coral for raising my taxes 400% in 2 years. And we still don't have a yacht club here and forcing small businesses out of town. Good luck to the city of Cape Coral. We'll see you back in the chat. Go Leafs, go!
Brought to you by your Ontario Subaru dealers. Enjoy winter to the fullest with symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Visit your local Subaru dealer to book a test drive today. Leafs win the face-off. Here's Marner working back towards the blue line. Tried to come D to D and does get it to Nylander. Little head fake, and then a pass is intercepted. And here's a break for Luke Hughes. He's in alone, and glove save made, and a penalty coming to Toronto. It'll go into the corner and now touched.
Well, Mitch Marner gets a stick. I mean, the evidence was right there, the last 15 feet of the attempted breakaway, but here, 5 forwards on the ice again, but it was Willie Nylander's it was just a soft pass from the left point that was rather easy for Nico Hischier to gobble up and take off down the middle of the ice. Yeah, and if you're Sheldon Keefe and the New Jersey Devils, I think that is the one thing you're thinking, boys, when it gets back to the point, pressure
them. Yes. You know, we've talked about what Brad Treliving's wish list would be at the deadline. And I think everyone is in agreement that a third-line center who can kill penalties and win faceoffs is probably at the top of the list. A defenseman who can run a power play and can really shoot the puck would be awfully nice to have, too. But those don't grow on trees, and teams that have them aren't likely to give them up.
Well, a lot of times that's what everybody wants, right?
Yeah. Pratt into the slot area, pass on the left wing, and a shot is swallowed up by Wall, who got across and got square and was able to take it on the chest to stop play. It was Hischier with the breakaway. I thought it was Hughes, 43, not 13. My bad.
I didn't say that till after the replay.
Oh. Darn.
In fairness to my own brilliance. Hischier, 3 goals in his last 8 games. The first 13 games of the season, he had 10.
Shot deflects wide of the Leaf goal. 4-on-4 here. Puck around back of the net. Keesher takes it into the corner. The Leafs swiping at it but can't clear, and it's back into the near corner. Domi got away from one, trying to work out at center, gets it into neutral ice, then drops it back for Ekman Larsson. His defense mate is Riley, who takes the pass and just gets it down into the zone. 36 seconds left in the New Jersey penalty, and then they'll get a very abbreviated power play. Good way to pad your penalty killing stats, isn't it? Well, we'll wait till it's over. Brought out by Dougie Hamilton. Toronto native got it off on the wing. Brought in over the line. Hamilton gets a drop pass, then is taken down by Pontus Holmberg. Holmberg against the boards, but Hamilton out fights him for the puck. Got it back to Hughes. Hughes dropping it off now for Pesce. A shot deflects wide of the goal. Centering pass came out in front, and it's knocked over top of the net. Tanev slinging up the boards for Holmberg. The Leafs are a man short now and will be for the next 10 seconds. Quick up is played in for Hughes on the right side. Hughes with a pass into the slot, far side now for Lazar. Lazar's shot is blocked, and out of the penalty box comes Marner. Brought on now. Marner gets a drop pass, sends it back in now for Nyes. He tried to center, got it back again, and then misfired again on a centering pass. Has it up against the boards though, and it'll be taken back now by New Jersey. Devils get it up on the wing and out at center. Nyes misses his man Lazar with a hit, and the Leafs defense corps has it back in their own zone. Oliver Ekman Larsson giving it off to David Camp. Camp circles back, gives it back to Ekman Larsson. He mishandles the puck, but it's cleared in over the Devils line, but the Devils have it again. Brett Pesce playing it off the boards to center. One-handed in over the line, high in the air. Leafs didn't see where it went. It comes back up on the wing. Chipped ahead by the Leafs Lorenz, and Stephen Lorenz gets it into the zone, and stolen back momentarily by Dewar. Long shot went off a glove and well wide of the net. Back at center ice it comes. Dewar in across the line, high slot, waits and takes the shot, and a fairly easy save made by Markstrom as he catches that and stops play. 2:31 left to play here in the period. The goal is Hughes from Kovacevic at 2:21, and it's 1-0 New Jersey.
You know, you got to go back with Markstrom. We mentioned what his stats were of late, but 15 games since he's given up more than 3 goals in a game. So he's been on a run, and in the last 15, just 3 of those he gave up 3 goals in a game. Everything else was 2 or less.
Boy, they struggled last year with goaltending, though, didn't they?
Well, and
Jake Allen arrived.
And Dougie Hamilton.
Yep.
Missing time is a huge
There's
loss.
a shot that was deflected, and Markstrom had good positioning as it came back to him in the chest. And he's able to swallow it up. 2:27 to go, and Holmberg will take the face-off again in the circle to the right of Jacob Markstrom. Draw won by New Jersey. Carried around back of the net by Kovacevic. Played up on the wing. The official got knocked down. Kovacevic has to retreat. Now plays it up on the left wing boards, and with skating room to his liking, is brought to center, and Meyer will send it in an attempted pass over top of the glass off a stick. Face-off coming back at the center ice area.
Well, talk a lot about jersey numbers sometimes and who you think about and what goaltender reminds you of. Jacob Markstrom wearing number 25 is an oddity, and when he went to Calgary, he actually asked Joe Nieuwendyk permission to wear the number and got it, and has been able to carry it with him here to New Jersey. But still trying to find an exact reason as why a goaltender would be attracted to the number. We know Eddie Belfour wore number 20 to honor one of his heroes, Vladislav Tretiak.
It's got to be something back in Sweden, one would think, right?
Yep.
Played around the boards, chipped out into the center ice area. Riley will chase it down with Dawson Mercer in pursuit. Riley has it back of the goal with a long up, chipped in over the line, but corralled by Kovacevic. Both teams are changing, and the pass gets the Devils in over the line. Working in on the right side is Palat. Palat stops it up, had it knocked back into the corner. Played back at the net, or back to the near boards. Intercepted there by Robertson. And the Leafs will play it in over the line as Robertson heads to the bench. Replaced by William Nylander. Devils through center with Jesper Bratt, sending it down into the Toronto end. Out of the net is Wall to McCabe. Trying to feed it along the boards for Nylander. That was stolen, and a shot is taken off the wing and stopped by the shoulder of Wall. Down into the corner, goes around back of the net. Tanev punching it ahead. Nylander tipped it but didn't get it past the defenseman. And then Tanev arrives on the scene and just flattens Bratt in order to get the puck freed up. Less than a minute to go in the period. McCabe sends it down into the offensive zone. Back of the goal, trying to center was Domi. Domi now plays it around back to the blue line. Timmins goes D to D. Ekman Larsson with a shot in traffic. And it got through, but there was no traffic in front of the net. And Markstrom saw that all the way and took it eye high to stop play. 40.5 seconds to go.
I was watching the Edmonton Oilers game last night, and so I thought, when you talk about power plays, what can you do different on the power play? And watching, Zach Hyman goes right to the front of the net, stands in front of the goaltender. Entire power play. And usually drags somebody with them, which means it's a 4-on-3 everywhere else on the ice. And I think, as you just said there, that without that traffic, and we're not talking in the high slot of the screen, we're talking
right in.
We're right at the top of the crease.
Exactly.
Where a lot of guys have made a living.
Played out into the center ice area. Devils get it down into the corner. Quickly played to the line, but cut off there by Kovacevic. Leafs come away with it. Get it ahead for Marner. Marner circles in the center ice area. Now starts up ice. Marner up on the wing. It goes on the far side for Matthews. Matthews has had a tough time handling the puck here in this first period. Lost it. Now Marner, left wing side. Here's a chance for Nyes, and coming out to poke it off his stick was Markstrom. Somewhere John Bauer is saying, "Attaboy, that's the way to handle it."
But boy, Matthew Nyes, had all these options and thought, I'm going to take it right to the net, and Markstrom came out at him. And by the time Nyes figured out what he was going to do with it, he was face down after Markstrom took his feet out, and the Leafs had a scoring opportunity wasted late here in the first period.
So a 1-0 lead for New Jersey after the first 20 minutes of play. Shots are 10-8 in favor of the Maple Leafs. And the goal comes from a former Toronto Marlboro youngster, Jack Hughes. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it. There's a chance. Rebound, Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate. Weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Ray Hudson here with an important announcement. You can listen to your favorite Sirius XM FC shows on the all-new Sirius XM app, now available for all subscribers.
NHL Morning Skate.
I think general managers must sit back in their chairs, Gord, and they must say, okay, if we make a coaching change here, chances are that at least for 10 games, we're more than competitive, and we're probably going to win much more than we lose.
Coaches are probably yelling an expletive, right? About, whatever, how that particular trend is going. So you're right. So far, it's like perfect.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. From in the crease to in the locker room.
Four Nations Team Canada Face-Off Associate GM Jim Nill. You as a manager view goaltending going into the tournament in February.
We're talking about two of the guys that won Stanley Cups and play in those type of pressure games. That's a pretty good resume to have. So we're pretty confident with it and pretty confident with the team that we're going to have playing in front of them.
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
Avalanche General Manager Chris McFarland. What went in to maybe change that duo in goal?
With the work of our scout, Wedgwood's experience, he was a veteran guy. He's been through the grind. We were very bullish on McKenzie, and when the opportunity came to add him, we just felt it was the right move for us, long term.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
Devils head coach Sheldon Keefe. You decided to jump right back into it.
New Jersey Devils reached out really within an hour or so of the news coming out.
What's up, insiders? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We've got... What's that?
You gotta go further back.
I get it. Oh, okay. How about here?
Go to your left, yeah. There.
All right. What's up, insiders? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. What a night we have here. The Leafs and the Devils. January 16th, 2025. We got to beat. I say beach because I'm at the beach. We got to beat Coach Keefe and the New Jersey Devils tonight. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Please check the link that's pinned in the chat for our SickKids football frenzy. The national championship's coming up. I'm heading out of town. Goodbye, Cape Coral. We'll see you at Atlanta on Monday. Go Leafs, go.
Going to be some high-pressure games. You're going to be putting your country's jersey on. You're representing your country. I think we're going to have a great fan base around us. And I'm really looking forward to what it brings.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey is on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. The Leafs live here.
And trailing 1-0 after 20 minutes of play. New Jersey 1, Toronto 0 after 20 is driven by Subaru. Get out in winter with standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Visit your local Subaru dealer to book a test drive today. Jim Taddy and former NHLer Anthony Stewart with you. Stu, let's go to the 1-0 goal, 2:21 in. Just got, I guess, mangled coming out of the zone. And guess who was there? Hughes.
Yes, the one guy that you probably do not want to be giving an opportunity sitting all alone there. And it started off with the breakout pass there, a little bit of an errant pass. And this is this New Jersey Devils team where they match you in skill. They have some extremely skilled forwards. So for your Austin Matthews, they have a Jack Hughes. They have, some, really, really talented forwards. You have to manage the puck. So that turnover, especially early in the game with what's on the line of the team struggling in the last 3 games, I expected a little bit more puck management. And Jack Hughes, that's the last guy probably, there's 4 other guys in the league you want to leave alone like that. And he made no mistake in making it 1-0 early. So for Toronto, not the worst period, but one of the adjectives I had was a little bit sleepy. Yeah. So I'm not sure if that's good or bad, but
depends if they wake up or not.
Taking my notes, it's the loudest the crowd got was Myers keeping the puck in, and then getting the power play that they ended up giving a penalty up 20 seconds later. So for Toronto, they have to find a way to manufacture energy. In an 82-game season, you're not always going to be able to bring your A game, but you have to find a way to raise the level of your B game. And I think that's where they're finding their struggles, when they're either A+, or it's like a C, C-. So they have to find a way to bridge that gap. And through 20 minutes, I know they're out shooting 10-8 right now, but a lot of those shots are from the perimeter. They're from the outside. Markstrom's having no trouble gloving them down because he can see them. There's no guys within 5-10 feet of the vicinity of the crease. So if I'm Craig Berube, I'm like, you know what, I'm not tremendously upset, but they have to be better in the second, third period to get back into this game, because this New Jersey team, they've been struggling. They lost 6 of 8 games, so they're ripe for the picking as well. I could see Toronto, if they put the foot on the gas a little bit, draw a couple more power plays, get one on the power play, they can get back into this game.
Well, look, the Leafs have been outscored 13-4 in the 3 games they've lost, and this game, this first period was another chapter in that book for me. There doesn't seem to be anything developing.
there's no, information dictating that they're going to score 3-4 goals tonight, right?
Yeah.
And, they did get lucky against the Flyers. They did score 2 early goals against Carolina, but since then, it's just, there are a lot of hope plays, right? A lot of hope plays, just throwing the puck around and, through the middle, hopefully it hits a guy springing in. And, for me, the D, they're on the flanks, but they're not really shooting for sticks. They're trying to beat Markstrom, from the outside dot. That's not going to happen. He's too big of a goalie. He led the league in shutouts a couple seasons ago. He's a really good goaltender. So for me, I'm just get in front of his net, crash the net, second and third opportunities. It starts with a forecheck, a couple bumps. Yes, they are out shooting the New Jersey Devils, but they have to find a way to penetrate. And that's what Craig Berube's talked about. Get on the inside, get to the net. It's a lot easier said than done. It's a heavy game, and we're in a bit of the dog days of the season, but you want to start getting some wins. It's going to be hard hockey, not, perimeter hockey.
So, how can we explain, we're talking about, support, or maybe support's the word we're looking for, the build from play to play, the support on the play to make it happen. It's almost like there's a disconnect out there, isn't there?
Discombobulated, disjointed. That's what I have, in describing it. And, it's funny. I would have that pressure, as a third line, fourth line guy, saying the game's not going the way we want. Yes, the top guys aren't necessarily producing, but it was up to me to find a way to change the tide of the game. So that's a big hit. So I'm expecting Lorentz and Dewar, even Nyes getting in there and try to turn. This crowd it's a different vibe than it was, early on in the season. I know it's a Thursday night, and but it just seems like they're just waiting for something to happen. We're almost at a circus, and we're like, is the lion going to snap yet? It's
how long is it since he's eaten and he's not? It's not. Oh, what's
right?
going
it's
on?
just one of those things, and in today's NHL, you can't wait. You gotta create, and that's going to be trademarked pretty soon. But
you're late.
It's simple, I know, but it's easier said than done. But again, the bottom six, they got to do something out there, in my opinion.
Almost a power play. It lasted 20 seconds, and then Marner got called on a breakaway, a hooking penalty on a breakaway. Which, the fact that there was a breakaway 20 seconds into that power play is kind of unnerving too, isn't it?
Yeah, and for me, we talked about, I think one of the issues with this group right now, especially on the power play, is the accountability. And who made the turnover there in an errant pass was William Nylander, right? And what message does that send? Where we took the power play, the penalty. Marner's in the box. You're going to play 4-on-4 now. If I'm Craig Berube, I'm taking him off the ice and sitting him down. There's 5-6 minutes left in the first period. I'm sitting him for the rest of the period and seeing how he responds. So it just seems that they're sort of going with the flow, but the way that you send a message, yes, you can have all the conversations, you can go all the video, but eventually you have to have that accountability by sort of taking away and giving other guys ice time. That's the accountability that Craig Berube is known for. So we'll see what he does in the second period. I know they've been known to juggle some lines here and there, but in that particular instance, I'm pulling Willie off. I'm putting another guy on and letting him watch for a bit and see how he responds to that treatment.
It's a fine line there because it's sort of a punishment. Team's not doing that bad, but you are in a 3-game losing streak and you are on home ice and you made that play.
Yes, and those guys are making a lot more money than the coach. And I remember, guys that I play with that were $5 million guys and how they run the show. I couldn't imagine having to deal with, 3 guys making over $11 million. But we're talking about this group winning a Stanley Cup, taking the next step, getting past the first round. That was a perfect opportunity to get back into the game, right? That could have erased almost the failures of all 3 games and showing, hey, you know what, it is different. We all hear the noise, and yes, we hear the boos, but this is how we're going to respond. So whether you agree with it or not, the fans do have a right to boo, and I would take that personally and say, you know what, yes, we are very, very prideful for the fans, but we want to show that we're not who you think you are. So that's sort of where I'm just like, that's where I can be critical, but the positive is, they haven't played the best period. I'd probably give it a C+. They're still in this game, and they have an opportunity through 40 minutes to not just get back into the game, but take over the lead.
Stu, well said. So Hughes has the only goal. Jack Hughes, 2:21 of the first period on an errant clearing pass that, started in a face-off in the Leafs zone and it never got out, but it went in the Leafs net. So 1-0 for the Devils over the Leafs after 20 minutes of play. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeart Radio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
The 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid is here, and it may sound too good to be true. With a 2-liter 4-cylinder backed by 2 electric motors, giving a combined 200 horsepower, it's our most powerful and fuel-efficient Civic ever. Plus, with an estimated range of over 800 kilometers and available features like a Bose premium sound system, your crew will love it too. Maybe it should be called the Civic 2.0. Redefine your drive with the 2025 Civic Hybrid. Visit your Ontario Honda dealer and test drive yours today.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuss shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Jan owns a home and a restaurant fusing French and Mexican cuisine. But she is fusing no more because her ovens have gone kaput. She called Alpine Credits, who sent their speedy superhero. With her business loan approved, her ovens were quickly fixed. The hero even had some of her poutine nachos. Yum! Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
The world's best are on TSN. Well, the foundation of the PWHL has been poured from regular season showdowns to the fight for the championship. Are you kidding me? The PWHL lives on TSN.
You may have heard on the news that visits to Ontario food banks are at an all-time high. To illustrate this, I have some dimes here. One dime represents one visit to a food bank. And these dimes represent visits by people you may even know. Now, here's how many more food bank visits there are every day. Alarming, isn't it? But you can help. Every dime you donate to Feed Ontario will help Feed Ontario support more than 1,200 food banks and hunger relief organizations. Please, give now at feedontariotogether.ca for the big change your pocket change can make.
Walmart is the #1 place to save on groceries. Save $3 on Tide Pods and Gain Flings, 25 to 42s, or Downy Rinse and Refresh, 70 loads, now only $11.97 each. Walmart. Save money, live better.
The out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by Maple Toyota. You don't have to go out of town for a great new Tundra RAV4 gas or hybrid. Maple Toyota has them in stock and ready to deliver. Visit mapletoyota.com. Starting the second period, Red Wings and Panthers tied at 1. Also at the end of the first period, it is Capitals and Senators scoreless. Early in the second, Jackets 2-0 over the Sharks. Midway through the first, Islanders 1-0 over the Flyers. The end of the first, Ducks and Lightning tied at 1, getting set to start in mere seconds. Flames visiting the St. Louis Blues. Also about to start, Seattle and Winnipeg against the Jets, and the Canadiens in Dallas against the Stars. Chicago's in Nashville getting set to start at 9 o'clock. Utah hosting the Rangers at 9:30. The Avs hosting the Oilers. Then at 10, the Kings in Vancouver against the Canucks. In our game, New Jersey 1-0 over the Leafs after 20 minutes of play. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
This week on Let's Go with Bill Belichick, Max Crosby, Peter King, and me, Jim Gray.
Your thoughts on Mike Vrabel becoming the new head coach of the New England Patriots?
Mike's a terrific coach. I thought he did a great job at Tennessee. His teams are always very well prepared. They're tough. They're competitive. They play very good situational football. He does an excellent job of developing players and building the team. Good game plan coach. I love Mike Vrabel.
Listen to the extended version of Let's Go, now available exclusively on the all-new SiriusXM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
I think general managers must sit back in their chairs, Gore, and they must say, okay, if we make a coaching change here, chances are that at least for 10 games, we're more than competitive, and we're probably going to win much more than we lose.
Coaches are probably yelling an expletive, right? About, whatever, how that particular trend is going. So you're right. So far, it's like perfect.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stella. Weekdays, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on SiriusXM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Ray Hudson here with an important announcement. You can listen to your favourite Sirius XM FC shows on the all-new Sirius XM app, now available for all subscribers.
The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back, stick handles to the backhand, moves in front, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
The Leafs trail 1-0 as we get set for the start of the second period. And the second period is brought to you by Molson. Whether it's Canadian Ultra Export or XL, there is a Molson with your name on it. I would suggest over the years you've probably had a lot of Molsons with your name on it.
Yeah, they were leases.
Yeah.
Didn't own them.
No, and they didn't hang around for long.
No. Remember, those were the great days. You knew all the Molson reps and.
Yeah, that industry has changed a little bit too, along with ours, isn't it?
Chuck Seeger, Scotty Waits, Gary Shea, Pat McElhaney. Some great people we've got to know over the years.
Yeah, we sure have. Leafs will defend the goal to our left and the Devils to the right. The goal was a fluky one as Jack Hughes got upended and fell down in the corner. The Leafs were breaking out. Everybody was just at the Leaf blue line, but Kovacevic was able to get a stick on the puck before it got out over the line, therefore putting Hughes still onside, and he was all alone with goaltender Joseph Woll. And just thinking, Markstrom makes a great poke check. That might have been the opportunity for Woll to do the same thing because Hughes was standing still, wasn't he?
Well, I think that was the big thing, is he wasn't going to skate around you.
Leafs get a turnover and a pass in front of the net. Went behind Nylander and wide of the goal. Nico Hischier gets it out at center, carries to the right wing side and into the slot with a shot off the stick of Riley, and it's up into the mesh out of play.
Well, they did have, I guess we didn't really make mention of it, a video tribute or thank you to Sheldon Keefe returning back, and it was kind of a mixed reaction from the crowd. Keefe didn't even look. He looked up briefly at the end of it, but never really acknowledged.
He was busy talking to one of the officials, I think, during the timeout. Yeah. Well, Mike Van Ryan is coming back as well. He was an assistant coach here and is now on the staff of Sheldon Keefe. Or I'm sorry, who am I thinking of? No, Sergei Brylin is still there, and he was an assistant coach there beforehand. Now the Leafs get a pass in front of the goal. Oh, and a shot by Marner is stopped, and now it deflects and goes in on the goaltender, and Markstrom is able to cover up on it.
That's a huge save by Markstrom here early in the period. Matthew Nye's opportunity was in the final minute of the opening period. And now to start up again.
Matthews got it away, but I don't think he got real good wood on it. He kind of fanned on
that too, didn't he?
Yeah.
And Matthews' numbers, he's got 2 career hat tricks against the Devils. His career numbers against New Jersey are impressive, to say the least.
Played to center ice by the Devils, and it is Timmins back in his own zone. Got it up on the far side for Marner. Marner cruises through the neutral zone to get it in over the line. Right wing side, no traffic in front. When he tried to send it in front of the goal, it was blocked. The puck comes up on the left wing and then is cleared by the Devils into neutral ice. Nyes dropping it for Ekman Larsson off the stick of Marner, played deep into the Devils' end. Markstrom punches it around the boards, and Meyer will get it down into the Leaf end for them. Reverse there by McCabe, into the near corner for Tanev. He has skating room and brings it to center with a pass in over the line for Pontus Holmberg, and then a shot by Robertson was blockered away nicely by Markstrom. Pretty good shot by Robertson. Back of the net now for Pontus Holmberg. Holmberg still with it, trying to shield it. Gets in front of the goal and got a shot away, but it deflected high and went wide of the net. It's almost like a basketball player trying to back his way to the basket.
Should have tried the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar skyhook.
Yes. Put your rump in somebody's face and just keep pushing back towards the net. Round into the corner in the offensive zone. Played to the line, kept in by the Leafs, and a deflection in front is kicked away by Markstrom. Leafs pressing here in the start of this second period. Camp gets it along the boards. Dewar trying to help out. Lorenz is there as well as it comes back to Riley at the far point. Back to the near side to Myers. A bank shot to the side of the goal. Karen right out in front. No one there taking advantage of it. And it is Bratt getting it to center and shooting it in. And the last three shifts, the Leafs have spent down in the New Jersey end, and the Devils getting it out. The only thing they could do is get a player change going. Leafs trying to continue that trend. Into the near corner and back to the point. It comes to Timmins. Shot coming and deflected wide of the goal. Bounces to the far side, kept alive by Ekman-Larsson. Played back of the net. Markstrom cuts it off. And now the Leafs are going to get a change going as the Devils get it to center and play it down into the Toronto end. Timmins tied up there, and the puck goes around back of the goal and punched up on the near wall, but doesn't reach Nylander. Back to the far side it goes, and the Leafs get it ahead to Domi. Domi a pass looking for Nylander. It was off a stick, and it's down into Devils territory. Markstrom makes a clever little pass up the boards for Siegenthaler, and it's slayed back into the Toronto end. Puck back on the near boards. Nylander frees it up for Tanev to McCabe. McCabe out from McMahon. He tried a little touch pass for Domi that didn't connect. Back come the Devils in over the line. Good block there by McCabe to stop a pass from going into the front of the net area. The puck along the boards in the near corner. Dug out now, and McCabe has it back at the net on his backhand. Trying to play it off the glass for Nylander. He'll battle and get it out at center ice. Kovacevic for the Devils. Steps back up at center and gets it in over the line. Into the slot area, and a shot there off a stick. Has found the screen again behind Joseph Wall. And with 4 minutes and 16 seconds played into the second period, it is still 1-0 New Jersey.
By the way, those numbers for Austin Matthews against the New Jersey Devils lifetime. 20 games played, 19 goals, 29 points. So you would think if this was the game.
If someone is going to have good hands and good luck around the net, this would be it. But Matthews has really struggled here.
Yeah, just handling the puck.
Bouncing pucks. Yeah. Just handling it, yep. Shot goes wide of the Leaf goal. Played up on the wing for Marner. Tipped ahead for Morgan Riley. Riley sends a diagonal shoot in for Nyes. Nyes misses it, but Riley follows up on it as it comes back to the point. Myers a drive. Oh, that took down Timo Meier in the slot area, and he's limping badly as the centering pass doesn't connect. Leafs have an opportunity here. Now Myers seems to have regained his health. Gets out at center and isn't going to the bench. In fact, he's not going to be allowed to unless he can convince the referee that I really don't feel well after taking that shot from Myers. It'll be a face-off back in New Jersey territory.
I think the Devils beat that out, too. And it seemed to be a bit of a... It was Dawson Mercer that I thought had the jump on the Leafs going back the other end, but Leafs get the benefit of the face-off that comes to the right of Jacob Markstrom.
Leafs' next action is in Montreal against the surprisingly red-hot Montreal Canadiens.
Well, just when you look at Detroit, Ottawa, all the teams that were out of it, it's Montreal's turn, right?
Yep. Pass ahead is going to be icing as it was out of the reach of Max Pacioretty, so it'll come back into the Toronto zone. Yeah, they were ripped off, weren't they? But the Canadians have rebounded, and it almost mirrored the arrival of Patrick Laine.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Everything took off, right?
He scored in the first 5 minutes of his return from injury.
Hat trick too, right? Yep. Devils with a long lead pass, get to the late blue line and in. Chipped along by Pratt, got it into the corner. Now played back at the net. The Leafs get to it with skating room. Banked off the glass through center and down into the zone by Pontus Holmberg, but it's an icing. Got a little bit too much on it. It'll come back. And a face-off will be in the Toronto zone to the right. Joseph Woll, 1-0 in favor of the New Jersey Devils. Leafs moving from left to right on your radio dial here for the second period.
He's talking to our buddy Stan between periods. He said, there were 27 face-offs in the first period. League average, he says, is usually 50 to 60.
Okay, that's way too much information.
No, and now, how many have we had here in this period?
Yeah,
and it's just a lot of whistles.
Stan always has questions I can't answer.
Oh, no. but that is part of the fun of game night. As Stan comes in with his little card.
There's a chance now for the Leafs with a shot right on, and Markstrom stopped that as again Matthews was able to break in. Brought back at center ice now by Bratt. Got it in over the line, and then a shot from an angle, a weak one, is scooped up by Joseph Woll. And another stoppage of play and another whistle that you've been talking about.
Good. Let's
Stan Prince, nice.
Yeah, thank you, Stan.
Yeah.
All right. The Devils franchise have never had a 50 goals scored. Who holds the record for most goals in a season for the New Jersey Devils? And
we thought about this.
Yeah, the number is 48, and it was Brian Gionta, and it was one of those. I don't think he ever hit 40 again.
No,
we could look up. It was one of those miracle seasons for a player, career year.
McCabe finds Tanev in the defensive zone. Tanev's pass went off Domi's stick. No one over there. Domi almost stole it. Then does. Domi works into the left wing corner, trying to center again. Scores! Nylander! Great play by Max Domi. And Nylander finishes it by shooting more.
There was a stretch where Craig Berube was talking to Max Domi at practice, and he was asked by the media what the conversation was. And he said it was more competing one-on-one and winning battles. And that's exactly what Max Domi does. He wins the battle for the loose puck on the left wing side. Has to chase it down low before looking up from about the goal line to the right of Markstrom. Looks up, makes a perfect saucer pass onto the stick of Willie Nylander, who beats Markstrom to tie the game.
Team leading 25th goal of the season for Nylander, who has struggled mightily as the puck goes out of play in the Toronto zone.
That's only his second goal in the last 12 games for Nylander. And wouldn't it figure that it would happen when John Tavares was injured? And Max Domi is the guy that sets Nylander up with a great individual effort.
Nylander from Domi at 6:14. We're tied at ones, and you're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
We are summer. Are you ready? It's coming soon. North America's largest indoor boat show. The Toronto International Boat Show. Over 500 exhibitors and 300 seminars. It's Canada's official boating event of the year. January 18th to 26th at the Intercare Center. We are summer. Are you ready?
We are summer.
The Toronto Boat Show. Visit TorontoBoatShow.com.
The Subaru winter has arrived. The crisp air and negative temperatures mean one thing: camping. Emerge from your icy tent and bask in 4 to 6 hours of sunlight. Enjoy the unmistakable smell of campfire through the glacial.
What's up, insiders? Cheers. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight, the Leafs and the Devils. It's the first intermission. I hope I can get this in before the end of the first intermission without interrupting the game. I don't know if it's going to happen, but thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Look at the chat, absolutely popping off. Miss V. Veronica, Rod Bottomley. Cheers, Rod. Thank you, man. Carmen, Brandy. Hey, there's Madison as well. We got Jeff Mitterling, Norman Paul, Andrew Hurd with the eyeballs. Bad first period from our Leafs, but you know what? It's early. We got time. Right here, this is the living room I grew up in. It is what we're doing here. There's a super chat from Brandy. Love it for Jump in the Ocean Fund. Go Leafs go. I might have to make a video of me jumping in the water tomorrow. Let's see. Let's get back to the hockey. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. Where are you watching from on this map? Here we are. Here I am down in Florida, right there. I'm normally up here. Here's Toronto. Go Leafs go. We'll see you back in the chat.
But it was he won 2 or 3 battles with the same guy to get the puck in the first place.
Markstrom back of his goal after a long pass, and it's knocked off a body down into the Toronto end, forcing Ekman-Larsson back. Oh, he's taken to the boards heavily as he is all right. Gets back up on his skates. Puck to the near boards. Another collision there, and the Leafs get it out. Dewar trying to play it ahead, had it knocked away. Brought back in by Timo Meier. Meier's pass deflects to the far side. Hischier is there. He's taken down. And a penalty coming to Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who lost his stick in the exchange, and the penalty will be for tripping. So this will be the first full power play opportunity for the... And Ekman-Larsson having a
I think
discussion
this was,
with Michael.
I think this was the earlier collision, Joe. I don't think this is the penalty. I think what was happened earlier that Ekman-Larsson thinks might have been a boarding penalty. Because I think the trip was rather obvious, even though, I mean, Nico Hischier steps on Ekman-Larsson's stick, but fortunately it's going to be called every time. This whole thing starts, Connor Dewar tried to bank a right wing board pass up, but got picked off and turned back into the Leaf zone.
Puck is shot down the ice. Penalty kill brought to you by CMC Markets. Take your trading to the next level with $0 commission on stocks. Brought out at center ice and fed into the zone now by Bratt. Down into the corner it goes. McCabe takes it up against the wall. Back of the Toronto goal. That battle continues as it comes free to Hischier. Now back along the boards. Hischier gets it back at the point. Hamilton onto the right wing side with time and a shot knocked down and swallowed up by Wall. That was Hughes coming off the far side in the circle. And Wall had to stare him down and make the save.
Wall was fairly deep on this, right? Now, obviously, I've always got to be aware of the backdoor play, or that little redirection from in front of the net. Joseph Wall is able to stop it and cover it up. As we mentioned, the New Jersey Devils' power play's been great. 3rd overall coming in, but just 2 for 20 in the last 9 games.
Shot down the ice by the Maple Leafs. Minute 14 to go in the power play. Dougie Hamilton dropping it off. Hughes coming out of his own zone. Drops it in turn. Bratt to Hughes in across the line. Back into the corner for Jack Hughes. Hughes trying to get to it. Stolen then by Timmins momentarily, but Hischier is going to keep it in at the left point. Nico Hischier with a shot and scores! Beats the glove of Wall. Nothing very fancy about that power play. Get a chance, get a shot, get it at the net.
Need a save there, don't you? Another one just coming off the wing. I don't think it was a full screen on Wall, but Hischier just picks it up off the boards inside the blue line and then turns and heads towards the net. And he lets this go about just inside the top of the left wing circle and beats Wall, far side. I don't know if Connor Timmins provides a screen or not. Maybe, but
just under the glove and on top of the pad. Simple formula though, wasn't it? Get it to the net. So the lead restored for the Devils. Flipped high down into the Toronto end. Riley hustles back, collides with his man. A centering pass went to the far boards. Stopped there by Bobby McMahon. He's double teamed, has it in his skates. Battle continues. The puck comes free now, and Myers finds Riley. Leafs trying to break out as they have it at their own blue line. Myers gets to the red line and punches it down into the zone, and change is coming for the Leafs up front. Bratt will get the assist, and the Leafs trail 2-1. Pass off a skate, goes to the blue line. Devils control there. Long lead pass, partially knocked down by Pacioretty. And then Pontus Holmberg turns with it. He'll give it off on the right side for Connor Timmins. Into the zone with a shot, blockered away by Markstrom. Settled on the far side by Robertson. Played around back of the net, too far for Holmberg. Now Timmins plays it back to the blue line, thinking Robertson was going to fill in for him, but missed him by about 30 feet. Back to the Toronto zone it goes, and now brought on by Chris Tanev. Sends it in and takes a hit on the boards by Brendan Dillon. Puck kept in at the blue line by the Leafs. Marner's pass, looking for Pacioretty. He was headed for the bench and never saw it. Now Marner, a pass along for Nyes, going in, a goal! Oh, and a big save made there by Markstrom's left hand. He was set in nicely with Marner and Matthews helping out. Great scoring chance for the Leafs. Nyes works through center again. Matthews is with him. Nyes into the slot, dropping it off, got it back again. To the point it comes to Myers. Myers' shot, that's blocked in front of the net. And it's going to be cleared to the line, but not out. Riley keeps it in. Down around the boards, it'll find Marner on the near side. Centering pass goes off his stick. And it's going to be chopped out at center ice by New Jersey. Leafs back in their own zone. Morgan Riley plays it ahead, shot in over the line then by Bobby McMahon. Devils get it back out at center. Hughes across the line on the left wing, ridden off the puck there by Nylander. 2-1 New Jersey here in the second period. The teams have traded goals. Devils in across the line. Bratt on the wing. Comes back to the point. Near side now looking for a shot. Luke Hughes gets it down low to his brother. Trying to center. That's blocked. Hughes again with it. Oh, and he backhanded it past that far corner. Played high to center ice and down into the Devil zone. And an icing call coming here against the Maple Leafs.
Well, circle that save. Markstrom off Matthew Nyes. Look at the Leafs right back even in this game. Now we were able to talk to Tom Fitzgerald, former Leaf and now general manager of the New Jersey Devils. And he was talking about, what a difference Markstrom has made coming in. They also, as we mentioned, Dougie Hamilton, they lost for most of the season last year, which was huge. But when you have those moments like you just saw, and certainly remember Anthony Stolar's last complete game in New Jersey, which was a 2-1 Leaf win. It was Stolar's that was a difference easily in that game.
Played in over the line on the left wing side for Bastian. His shot goes off a stick and has ramped up into the screen. The scoring plays. Nylander from Domi and Tanev. He has drawn an additional assist on the goal. Heischer with his 21st from Bratt and Jack Hughes. And that is the go-ahead goal once more for the New Jersey Devils with 8:07 to play here in period number 2. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
What happens in Vegas?
Vegas, y'all ready to turn it up tonight? Is heard across North America.
CMA and ACM Entertainer of the Year, Lainey Wilson. Bringing it on the Strip.
I'm headed straight home. Captured live exclusively for Sirius XM. High five generations of blazing trail. Lainey Wilson. If you ain't on your feet, get your butt up. Hear it anytime at home with Sirius XM on your phone, computer, Alexa, TV, or other internet-connected devices.
Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Playing in the Four Nations face-off for Team USA, Connor Hellebuck.
How do you feel about getting a chance?
Do a quick run through. What's up, insiders? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Devils and the Maple Leafs. please hit that like button down below. Let's get some more Leafs fans in here to cheer on our Leafs tonight. We've got to win tonight. This is the last game I'm doing from the Cape Coral office, and I'm standing at the racquetball court where my dad told me he was going to beat me at 99. There's no racquetball court here anymore. It's time to go home. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you for hanging out with us and hitting the like button. And go Leafs go. We'll see you guys back in the chat.
Sweeps it. There's a chance. Rebound. Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Face off in the Toronto zone to the right of Joseph Wall. Holmberg won the draw. McCabe steps around back of the goal, but his pass is cut off. Played into the corner. McCabe knocked it around the boards. Grabbed off by Holmberg, but then he had his stick lifted and Paul Cotter got it back of the net. Leafs now trying to find an opening to get it out and find Robertson, who finds Tanev, who skates it out. Tanev to the red line. Can't get it into the zone, though. Devils will play it all the way down into the Toronto end office. Stick, no icing. And one-handed then and stolen back by the Devils. Dowling trying to play it off on the wing, and a high shot. Goes too high. Too high. Too high. It's up into the, speaking of Major League.
honoring Bob Uecker.
Yep.
Well, the one was, as Charlie Sheen, the Wild Thing, was just a bit outside. I think it hit the mat.
I think in Major League 2, it was another one when the pitch came and the home run was hit, and he said, oh, shit. Sort of.
Yeah. Tell you, though, that New Jersey goal has gone right to their legs, right? The Leafs were pushing. Turnover at center led to the penalty by Oliver Ekman-Larsson, which led to the power play goal, and it's been mostly Devils except for that one glorious opportunity by Matthew Nice.
Played out into the neutral zone. McMahon couldn't get it into the Devils' end. They'll regroup it back there, though. 7:14 to play in the period. A pass up on the left wing. Timo Meier trying to make a move. Goes around back of the net. Lost the handle on it. Regains it to play it back to the point. Kovacevic sends it to the net. That's blocked. The rebound is still in front. And it's taken to safety here by Morgan Riley and punched out at center ice. Bouncing puck to the blue line. Oliver Ekman-Larsson giving it off to Riley. Back to Ekman-Larsson, a pass ahead, deflects off Domi. No, it didn't. Icing call coming from the linesman. And that'll be brought back into the Toronto zone. 6:43 left to go, period number 2. Leafs in the throes of a 3-game losing streak, trying to snap things out of it here, but have a 2-1 hill decline in the second period. Face-off controlled by the Devils. Palat got it back to the point. Hughes sent it in around the boards, far side for Brett Pesce, back of the goal. Trying to come out in front of the net, still free! Oh, and it was knocked just wide of the goal there by Palat. Leafs get it out at center, but can't get any offense going as the puck comes right back in on the left wing. Sent by Pratt around back of the Toronto goal. Hughes has his pass intercepted, and the Leafs trying to break it out on the left wing, and it'll be sent into the zone then by Matthew Nyes. Marner trying to help out, so was McCabe, but the Devils get it back to neutral ice. Tanev right back up. A kick pass there by Marner didn't connect. It'll be played off on the wing for Nyes. He'll shoot it in, and out of the net is Markstrom to pump it around the boards to the near side. Tanev pinches, able to keep it in along the boards momentarily. Got some help there from Matthews, centering pass in front of the net. Nyes back to the blue line. McCabe looks back, gives it back to Tanev. Tanev trying to find an opening to shoot it, can't find anything. Now he does get a little avenue. Then he drops it off for Marner. Marner circles now, still with it, took a shot off a stick and into the screen.
Great control, but Mitch Marner waits maybe just a little too long to launch it towards the net. There was traffic in front, but couldn't get it past the first stick.
And he beat Timo Meier, but Meier turned around and got the stick in the way, and up she went. 2-1 New Jersey. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house.
Cheers, Insiders. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. The Leafs and the Devils. Come on, Leafs. We got to get the victory tonight. We got to beat Coach Keefe and the New Jersey Devils. I just wanted to stop and say a quick thank you for being here and helping me create this amazing community here on Toronto Sports Insider, where we get to hang out together every single Toronto Maple Leafs game. It started right here in this spot. This is my spot. Where are you watching from? Let us know in the chat where you're watching from. All over the world. Are you in Canada? Let us know your city and province, the United States, city and state, and international. Hey, Popo, you still hanging out there in Ulaanbaatar in Mongolia? Are you with us tonight? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, everybody. We'll see you back in the chat. Go Leafs, go!
This is the 450 Challenge. Let's get Canada's blood pumping.
Book an appointment today at blood.ca/450.
Power play goal by Nico Hischier has the New Jersey Devils out in front 2-1 here in the second period. 5:19 to play in the period. A draw in the Devils zone to the right of Jacob Markstrom. Face-off won and controlled by the Devils. Kovacevic banks it out at center ice. Timmins starting back up ice. Works to the right wing side. Shoots it in around the boards. That comes all the way back to the blue line. Ekman Larsson walks the line. Got a shot in on goal. And Markstrom was able to get a pad in the way of that. Now Matthews to the right wing side for Timmins. Timmins a cross-ice pass. Shot taken. Rebound. No, there's no rebound. Off the blocker, down to the ice, and a quick save made there by Markstrom. He gets a glove on it as Oliver Ekman-Larsson let it go from the point.
Boy, Markstrom's been good, hasn't he? Leafs out shitting the Devils now 20-14. And you like this. Hits through a maze. Matthew Nyes is in front, has a defenseman with him. And Ekman-Larsson walks in, from the same distance that he sure beat Wall earlier, Joe? Just inside the top of the circle. Markstrom not only makes the save, covers up on the rebound with the traffic in front.
Another shot right off the face-off was stopped by Markstrom. The puck in along the boards near side. McMahon unable to trap it. Devils send it high to center ice. Bit of interference going on there with Myers, but the Devils get the puck in the corner. Bastian pinned up against the wall. Domi trying to fish it free. Played back up along the boards, and now to open ice, and the Leafs have it with Myers. Philip Myers in on the right side, drops for Nylander. He has scored the Leaf goal. Nylander in the high slot, still with it, got a shot in front of the goal, a backhand, went wide from Riley. Riley in for Nylander, who circles out of the corner, tried to center, and it hit a skate. And the Devils are going to get it and send it high, out and down the ice, wide of the goal. Icing call coming here against New Jersey with 4 minutes and a second left to play in period number 2. The Leafs next action at Montreal on Saturday night. We'll have that action for you beginning at 7 o'clock from the Bell Center.
I actually like the way the Leafs have been offensively tonight. I think they've gotten back to the dump and chase. We just saw that last shift from the Matthews line. Dumped it in, went back after it.
Marner with a shot from the blue line, just missed. Matthews has able to control the puck on the far boards. Off the wing, short side. Nope, sends it back to Marner. Marner right into the middle of the ice, onto the wing for Matthews. Back to Marner, and his one-timer was blocked, and the foot race is on. Brought out on the left wing by Andre Palat. Palat works it over the line. Great play made there by Connor Timmins. He had to decide when Palat started up ice whether he was going to go to him or not, and he decided to back off and play the rush. He made a great play there to knock it away, and a good decision earlier on.
I'll tell you, Chris Tanev got back in a hurry, too.
Played off the boards to Marner into the zone. Changes coming for the Maple Leafs up front. Pass off a stick comes to center. Played back in by Toronto. Devils organizing in their own end. Luke Hughes gets it ahead. Front center. Head up, head up. Yeah, I know that. Well, what? Here, referee telling you and I to keep our head up.
Well, I actually looked up when he said it. Just looking at my notes, and I thought, what?
Hey, puck up here or something? What's going on?
He caught me.
I guess.
I've just liked the offensive zone time tonight. I think they've looked sharper, obviously. Only one goal in the 21 shots they've had on Markstrom. But when things are going good, you probably got, what, 3 or 4 of them by now.
Face off. Is scrummed. Pacioretty trying to find it. Finally, the Leafs have it under control in their own end with Connor Timmins playing it out. Devils are going to backhand it right back in again. Oliver Ekman-Larsson will regroup it. Timmins gives it away. Here's Dowling into the slot area. Got a return pass, and then he sent the shot about 5 feet wide on the short side. Puck is in along the boards in the near corner. Chopped to the far point, trapped there by the Devils. Send it into the corner. Trying to come out with it is Thomas Tatar. He is checked. The puck comes free. Leafs trying to break it out at center ice, and they do for Robertson. Robertson in over the line. Couldn't get free, and then it comes right in front of the net, and Pontus Holmberg trying to move it from backhand to forehand, had it knocked off his stick.
Fortunately, it was behind him, right? So he kind of had to reach back as he was heading towards the net. It was very similar to the New Jersey goal in the first period.
I was thinking the exact same thing. Not quite as grandiose, maybe, that he would have had that much time, but it was very similar. Tanev comes to the red line, dumps it back into Devils territory. Markstrom mishandled the puck a little bit. The Leafs can't take advantage of it immediately. Bobby McMahon punching it back to the point. McCabe to Nylander. Back to McCabe. Shot coming. Blockered and smothered by Markstrom. 22nd shot on goal for the Maple Leafs. Minute 26 to go, second period. And the Leafs trail 2-1.
A little bit of traffic in front with Domi and Nylander. Or pardon me, Domi and McMahon. But neither took the eyes away from Markstrom. As again, the Leafs continue to press. Markstrom also almost got himself in trouble behind the net, didn't he?
Yeah, he mishandled the puck.
And he handles the puck extremely well. We've seen him make some good plays, firing it up the boards.
Devils get it out in center to the Leafs zone. In comes Hischier, captain of the Devils, and the net is dislodged as Nyes went crashing into it.
Yeah,
and he and Myers are both doubled over.
I think that was Timo Meier that Nyes collided with.
Training staff out to take a look at Nyes, who's still down on one knee.
Trainer's on the ice, but I think it was Matthew Nyes and Timo Meier that just collide. Boy, this is all you need, right?
And Myers stretching his leg and Nyes is up in his own power.
Yeah, I mean, Meier. This might have been interference.
Sure it was. And then Nyes kind of slew foots Myers on the way crashing into the net.
And Philip Meier, yeah, not Timo.
Yeah, anything. It was a tripping call or interference, right?
Yeah, well, if you're going to call the tripping call on Ekman-Larsson, I mean, which I agreed with. Kind of going, oh.
Well, the crowd responding a little bit to the
Well, okay, but
Lack
see
of
now,
non-call.
because the face-off comes outside the blue line, the officials are acknowledging
that it was
off
somebody's fault.
because of New Jersey.
Yes. Shot into the Devil zone by Matthews. The puck comes all the way back out at center ice, though. And Riley is back at his own blue line. Off the stick of Matthews, but not connecting with Marner. Through center again. Riley goes back behind the net. He'll bank it ahead. Marner traps, sends it back. Riley leads the rush to the line and in on the right side for Nylander. Nylander down into the corner. Nylander banking it for Riley in the far corner. Back it goes to Willie. Nylander circles. Nylander thinks about coming out in front, then dumped it out into the goal crease area, but there was no one there. Riley will try it again. 20 seconds left period. Riley has it in his own zone. Chipped in over the line then by Lorenz. That doesn't work. Cleared back into the Toronto bench area. No, comes all the way back into the Toronto zone. Final 8 seconds here in the period. And it appears the Leafs are going to trail heading to the third. Markstrom almost gave the puck away there trying to clear it.
Now, there's only one thing worse than a goalie that can't handle the puck.
The guy who likes to handle it.
A guy that thinks he can handle the puck. But can't. But he has, he's got a great sense of when to do things, but every now and then you're going to get burned by it, and hopefully for the Leafs it might come in the third period.
Well, the teams trade goals in the second period after Hughes opened the scoring on a bit of a gift. Nylander tying the game with his 25th from Domi, who records his 300th career assist, and Tanev and Hischier then scoring on the power play from Brandt and Hughes, and it's 2-1 in favor of the Devils after 40 minutes of play. Jim Taddy and Anthony Stewart, along with the second period intermission. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The road to Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans is on Sirius XM.
Mahomes in the pocket, floats a pass near side. He's got the touchdown!
Right along with NFL radio leading up to the divisional round as their panel of experts discuss the matchups.
Jaden Daniels is unbelievable. He can throw from the pocket. You want to scramble where we'll take the game over? He can do that too.
Catch exclusive coverage of the NFL playoffs on Sirius XM NFL Radio Channel 88 and on the Sirius XM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
I think general managers must sit back in their chairs, Gore, and they must say, okay, if we make a coaching change here, chances are that at least for 10 games, we're more than competitive, and we're probably going to win much more than we lose.
Coaches are probably yelling an expletive, right? About, whatever, how that particular trend is.
Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Playing in the Four Nations face-off.
What's up, insiders? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We've got, what's that?
You gotta go further back.
I get it. Oh, okay. How about here?
Go to your left, yeah. There.
All right. What's up, insiders? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. What a night we have here. The Leafs and the Devils. January 16th, 2025. We got to beat. I say beach because I'm at the beach. We got to beat Coach Keefe and the New Jersey Devils tonight. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Please check the link that's pinned in the chat for our SickKids football frenzy. The national championship's coming up. I'm heading out of town. Goodbye, Cape Coral. We'll see you at Atlanta on Monday. Go Leafs, go.
Seeing the situation was a tremendous opportunity that I couldn't let pass by.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app. From in the crease to in the locker room.
Four Nations Team Canada face-off associate GM Jim Nill. You as a manager view goaltending going into the tournament in February.
Now we're talking about two of the guys that won Stanley Cups and play in those type of pressure games. That's a pretty good resume to have. So we're pretty confident with it and pretty confident with the team that we're going to have playing in front of them.
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Bort Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Hockey is on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. The Leafs live here.
And trailing 2-1 to New Jersey after 40 minutes of play. TSN After 40 brought to you by 241 Pizza. Give yourself a high five. Buy any large traditional pizza. Get up to 3 medium one-topping pizzas for $5 each. 241pizza.com. Jim Taddy and former NHLer Anthony Stewart with you. And Stu, I thought, things were starting here. Good start to the second period. They get that goal by Nylander, a nice setup by Domi, and then power play goal, and it just reverted back to the way it was, didn't it?
Yeah, they found a way to sort of lose that momentum they got in the first 5-6 minutes of that period, and it started with, every line sort of getting involved, getting on in their New Jersey zone, sustained forecheck, sustained pressure, and that led to them now opening up and getting that goal with a beautiful pass to the slot from Domi to William Nylander. But with that momentum, it's one thing to get it. You have to find a way to keep it. Getting a tripping penalty a couple minutes later, not good enough. And then that penalty kill goal by Nico Hischier. And the difference is, and we're comparing those power plays, right, and why New Jersey is, tops amongst the league, top three, very, very direct. You saw Hischier come in, do a little bit of a tight turn, and attack downhill right away, and didn't defer, didn't even look to pass, came downhill and fired it. So that's the difference. And, we talked about off-air, just sort of Toronto taking notes. You got to be a little bit more direct. Yes, they did. They own the possession game, probably 2-1 right now in the O zone, but they're getting a little bit too cute. Yes, they do get a shot, they do get a retrieval. Then what's the response? Let's now try to find a seam and make the perfect play. So, trailing 2, it could have been a little bit worse than it was. They have an opportunity to get back into the game, but for me, it's got to be volume, it's got to be penetration. They have to find a way to get to the net, and through 40 minutes, they just haven't done it, but a little bit small step in the right direction for the Maple Leafs.
I would agree with that. I really liked what I saw at the start of that second period. That was a nice build. Apparently, Nice, who got tossed in the net, didn't draw a penalty in the play, which is kind of a mystery.
Yes, who was that again? We were talking Meyer, yeah, and again, it's do you defer the power play even if you get it, just the way that it's struggling? And I easily could have seen that being a penalty, right? And
sure,
he had a pretty good period, chipping the pucks in, chipping, retrieving. He got sprung on a breakaway there, and just got a pad out by Markstrom, and Markstrom. Again, I still think he's amongst the top 10 in the NHL in goaltending, and he finds a way just to make those big saves, and not just the big save, but the timing of the save, keeping it 2-1 there. So what I want to see in the third period here is waves. The fourth line, I think, is on pace for 7 minutes. So what's happening is the first line is going over the board, playing pretty good. The second line and then the third line and fourth line are just trailing off. And then now they have to come all the way back, hit a reset, and then try to get that momentum back. You cannot just do that, have two hot lines, too cold. It's too tough to get a rhythm in the game. So I know it's a tough task, and we're probably going to see the first couple lines get a majority of the shifts and lion's share of the shifts in this third period, but it's got to be a team effort to drive your team out of this 3-game funk currently that they're in.
Yeah, that fourth line, Dewar 443, Lorenz 444, Camp 457. Not a lot of time there.
I think I had more tonight sitting up top, but they got to try again, and that's maybe indication of a little bit of a panic mode. Again, I can understand if it's a lot of penalties, but there's only 3 in the whole entire game. But I think they got to be better. And we talked about the top guys getting them, some momentum, but it's that bottom 6 that you have to step up in games like this. And the top guys can't be the top guys every single game. And for me, I want to see a little bit more. And that's something where I thrived in these opportunities. I remember being in this situation, and you know what? I'm getting. I start with maybe 5 minutes through 2 periods, and I finish with 6-7 minutes in that third. So someone's got to do something as opposed to looking around to see who's going to be the hero. Again, Marner's having a good game. Matthews is okay. Nyes and Nylander's going along with Domi. It's just you can't win games and be consistently successful with half your forward corps going.
So I'm going to throw some numbers at you. I don't know that we would have had these numbers before. OEL, 4 shots on goal, another missed, so that's 5. Morgan Riley, 3 that got through, and another 6 that didn't get through. That's 9 attempts. And Philip Myers, 3 that did not get through. It's a lot of pucks from the blue line.
Yeah, but I bet you if you draw a 4x4 box, 4-foot-by-4-foot box at that blue line, it's right from there, right? So you can fire a million shots from there, but you're not going to be beating Markstrom. So for me, if you're going to be shooting from, 80 feet from the net, maybe shoot for sticks, shooting off the back wall. It's going to be too tough to beat today's NHL goalies with shots from the outside. But, even the ones that are missing the net, just think about, was there any traffic? Was there any layers? Was there any, 2-3 guys crashing? Was there anybody getting a rebound? It's not. So it's a lot of hope plays. But again, though, the one positive and the silver lining is, hey, we haven't played that bad, and we're still in this game.
Away.
We're out shooting them 22-14. We're on pace for over 30. Hopefully, Markstrom's going to crack, but you can't wait for a power play or a big moment from the big guys. You got to have a full effort here by everybody.
What's your take on Holmberg's night?
He's got some hop in his step. I see him skating through the neutral zone too, and again, for him, he's not going to get all his equity back in one game, but it's a step in the right direction for him.
So it is 2-1 for the Devils over the Leafs after 40 minutes of play. Nylander scored at 6:14. Nice setup from Domi. And then in the power play, exactly 2 minutes later, Heeshire scores from Brad and Hughes. A nice shot. Just really ripped one. And that's why the Devils have that 2-1 lead. We'll be back with the out-of-town scoreboard next. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
Joe and Lucy needed a new roof and reached out to Alpine Credits. I flew over to help them with a home renovation loan. I suggested they transform their house into a giant robot head, beams that shoot from the eyes. Pew, pew! Instead, they just went with shingles. But it's pretty glorious.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuss shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it would be too difficult or time-consuming? Then it's time to try Babbel. Babbel works because it's built around real life. It teaches you practical conversations that you will actually use. So with just 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking in a new language in just a few weeks. Babbel. Language for life. Right now, Babbel is offering radio listeners 55% off their subscription. Visit babbel.com/radio. That's BABBEL.com/radio for 55% off.
We have a plan that's connecting Ontario. We're leading the largest transit expansion in North America. New projects like the Ontario Line Subway and Hazel-McCallion Light Rail will relieve overcrowding, with the Scarborough and Yonge North subways connecting more communities, and expanding GO Transit with more trips, faster train service, and two-way all-day service. Also, you can get around faster, safer, easier. See what we're building in your community at ontario.ca/builds, paid for by the Government of Ontario.
Read product label and follow directions.
Is your child struggling to focus at school? Attention deficit affects millions of kids, impacting grades, focus, and self-esteem. Equizen by New Nordic is Europe's leading natural supplement for improving concentration levels in children and teens with attention deficit and hyperactivity issues. Supported by 19 clinical studies, Equizen's unique combination of omega-3 fatty acids helps support cognitive health, concentration, and brain function.
So since giving our son Equizen, we have noticed a huge difference in not only his behavior, but also his joy of learning. He's excelling with his reading and writing. He's actually on the honor roll. As a mother, I am just so extremely happy with how things are turning out. As a family, we couldn't be happier with how he's overcome his struggles. Equizen is something that we would never want to run out of. It will always be a staple.
Equizen is available at Shoppers Drug Mart, Walmart, Loblaws, Superstores, Metro and London Drugs, or online at Amazon and newnordic.ca.
The out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by Maple Toyota. You don't have to go to town for a great new Tundra RAV4 gas or hybrid. Maple Toyota has them in stock and ready to deliver. Visit mapletoyota.com. Here's what we have in the third period. Ottawa and Washington are scoreless. Also in the third, Jackets 3-0 over the Sharks. End of the second, Detroit 4, Panthers 2. In the second period, midway through, Islanders and Flyers are tied at 1. End of the second, Lightning 3-2 over the Ducks. End of the first period, Kraken 1-0 over the Jets. End of the first, Canadiens and Stars tied at 1. Also up to 20 minutes of play, Nashville 1-0 over Chicago. End of the first, Blues 3-0 over Calgary. Getting set to start in mere minutes, Rangers at Utah. Oilers in Colorado at 9:30, and at 10, Kings in Vancouver against the Canucks. In our game, Jersey 2, Toronto 1 after 40 minutes of play. Oh, yes, Guy, the third period is next. This is Molson Canadian Leafs Hockey on TSN 1050, the iHeartRadio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
The 47th presidential inauguration.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
Live coverage on the Sirius XM news channels starting at channel 114. Plus coverage throughout the day on the Sirius XM political channels, Patriot, Progress, and POTUS. And a 1-hour special starting at 6 p.m. Eastern. Hosted by Megyn Kelly on Triumph, channel 111. Hear history.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Here, Monday on Sirius XM. NHL Morning Skate.
I think general managers must sit back in their chairs, Gord, and they must say, okay, if we make a coaching change here, chances are that at least for 10 games, we're more than competitive, and we're probably going to win much more than we lose.
Coaches are probably yelling an expletive, right? About, whatever, how that particular trend is going. So you're right. So far, it's like perfect.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate, weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it. There's a chance. Rebound, Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Leafs trail by a score of 2-1 to the New Jersey Devils to start the third period. Bit of a gift goal as Jack Hughes fell down. Was late coming out of the Leaf end, and the turnover at the blue lines ended up getting poked to him. He was all alone in front of Joseph Woll and had all kinds of time to make a couple of moves and ended up scoring in the first period. Willie Nylander, who's been asked to shoot more by the coach, has shot once, and it went in the net. 25th of the year from Domi and Tanev at 6:14 of the second period. Max Domi creating the goal with a great saucered pass, his 300th career assist. But then on the power play, Nico Hischier scores at 8:14. His 21st from Bratt and Jack Hughes. And it is 2-1 after 40 minutes of play. Shots favored Toronto 12-6 in the second period. 22-14 overall. And so the Leafs have some work to do again in the third period. Always fun to...
I was just going to bring that up.
Yeah,
Chico Resch,
and he's got more stories than he has hair.
Now the irony for tonight, because 2 days ago was Mike Palmateer's birthday.
Yeah.
And is two of Mike's brothers, Jeff being one of them, that I know you...
Came up for a tour, yeah.
So I make the mistake of introducing them. They had never met before, Jeff and Chico.
So that was 30 minutes.
Jeff's first question is, do you remember Game 7 on Long Island?
How to influence people and make friends. There you go.
But he was trying to, that's how he started it. I'm going, I'm pretty sure he remembers that. Yep. Lanny McDonald scoring overtime.
Yeah.
Of course, Mike was absolutely out of his head in that series, let alone that Game 7.
We're underway. Leafs to the right and the Devils to the left. We get an icing right off the bat against Toronto. The Popcorn Kid. Remember that when Mike arrived on the scene? He would send somebody out for a bag of popcorn at the Gardens. That was his pregame meal kind of thing.
And his nickname became the Popcorn Kid.
Yep. I mean, and his line to Jim Gregory was, "Your problems are over.
Your goaltending problems are over."
Your goaltending problems are over. I'm here to do it. Boy, he was some exciting to watch. He wasn't a big man by any stretch of the imagination, but agile and quick. And a riverboat gambler.
Yep.
Hey? Oh, boy.
And it's great. And Mike's got some great stories, too. How he's one of the early starts. I think it was in the Central League. Took out one of his own men, came flying out. Tried to poke check it. Took out one of their top players.
Shot blocked. The Leafs can't get it out at the point. Another shot deflected right on. Good save there by Wall, who had to get out and take it off the chest on the redirect right in front of the net. Puck in the far corner in the Toronto zone. Kicked around the boards, but it won't clear. Trapped at the near point by Brett Pesce. Tries to get it in along the boards and does. Back it comes to Hughes, but it is chipped down the ice by Bobby McMahon. Icing waved off. And it is back down into Devils territory. Near side for Pesce. Rolls towards Wall. Pushed off the boards to Tanev. Up on the wing it comes, and now here's Nyes. Launching it into the left wing boards and goes into the corner after it. And good news that Nyes is back and okay after the collision there with Meyer near the end of the second period. Hischier gets it in on goal. Scooped aside by Wall. Played to the line and out. Marner off to Nyes, left wing side, tried to get a shot, but it didn't get past the defense of Kovacevic. And it's played by the Devils into neutral ice. Then a giveaway there almost by Timmins. Timmins is able to get it off the skate, and Nyes turns back up ice now on the left wing. Leafs in need of a change, and so he'll play it back to Timmins, who gives it back to Nyes, who was on his way to the bench. He'll backhand down into the zone, though, out of the reach of Robertson. McMahon battles on the boards. Pontus Holmberg overskated that loose puck, and the Devils have it just in neutral ice. Pass block, and the Leafs are able to come away and start back up ice now, led by Oliver Ekman-Larsson. From center ice, he shoots it in. Round on the boards, a deflection out in front of the net, just out of the reach of Holmberg. Back to the blue line for Robertson, who drops it off for Morgan Riley. Riley goes down into the corner, centering pass, and swiping at it there was Pacioretty, but he didn't make contact with it. And out come the Devils with the McDermott, sending a long shot in well wide of the lead goal. Puck back at center ice. Hughes laying it back for Brett Pesce. Got it up into neutral ice. Jack Hughes had difficulties with it. Luke Hughes is able to play it down into the Toronto zone. Domi sends it around on the boards for Nylander. He made a little tip of it, but it didn't get past the defenseman. Now Riley against the boards with a long lead pass well out of the reach of Bobby McMahon.
Well, New Jersey guy just let it go in the lines and said, no.
Oh.
You could have played that.
All right. Brought on now by Hughes. Hughes in across the line, stops, banned on his shot as the puck rolled off his stick. Chris Tanev, after a loose puck up on the right wing, comes to the near side for Nylander. Nylander will just play it down into the zone for David Kampf. Kampf was down in along the boards but can't come out with it. Hughes couldn't get it past the defense of McCabe. Puck down in along the boards on the near side. Kampf trying to battle for it there. And the puck does come free. Back to the point. A long shot taken by McCabe quickly off the chest. And Dewar gets in a shoving session with Jonathan Kovacevic, the Hamilton native.
I tell you, you love that shift. Leafs dump it in and go in after it. Boy, Matthew Nyes has got a pretty good gash right around the visor, his left cheek. But there you had, Connor Dewar and David Kampf go in, and they win the one-on-one battle, or like the two-on-two battle, and eventually get it to the point for the shot by Jake McCabe. But that's where the Leafs have had a lot of success with that style of play early on in the season. I think they've been, through all their challenges, I think they've been pretty good tonight.
Devils get it out into neutral ice. Timo Meier sends it into the zone. Wall out of the cage to play it back into the far corner. Quickly sent ahead for Marner. Marner, left wing pass. Oliver Ekman-Larsson shoots it in. Down the boards, far side for Siegenthaler. Got it back at the net, but Nyes almost cut it off, but it rolled off his stick. Now Matthews is taken down. No call. Matthews back on his skates, trying to get it in front. Comes back to the point. Oliver Ekman-Larsson faked the shot, then sends it in, and it's deflected away by the goaltender. At the point, Marner is shot, and that's kicked away by Markstrom. Leafs keep it alive. Nyes stops up in the corner, tried to get it back to the blue line, but it was picked off. And the Devils are going to skate it out at center and wait for teammates to change as they play it in over the blue line. Oliver Ekman-Larsson for Timmins, back behind the goal for Marner. Marner looked up, standing in front of the goal in the goal crease.
I think he heard you.
I think he did. Played out on the far side. Leafs can't get it into the zone. Nylander back to Morgan Riley on the left wing, and in on the wing it comes to Domi, flipped high into the corner. Riley sends it around and it'll find Myers and then to Nylander. Nylander working back on the far board, centering pass. Gets it back again. Now to Myers and a shot. Drilled just wide of the goal on the near side. Devils bring it back at center. Tatar into the slot, a shot, and that went wide of the net. 2-1 New Jersey here in the third. Puck in the center ice area. Morgan Riley up ahead. Nylander had to hold up at the blue line as it was partially deflected. The Leafs have to go back to recover the puck, but get it out at center ice, and Nylander has it. Nylander in across the line. Running out of real estate, running out of the puck, and it's back down into the Toronto end. Leafs are changing. Pontus Holmberg works back into the neutral zone. Got it up on the right side for Robertson. Robertson makes a move into the slot and then fired it high and wide. Rebound in front now for McCabe, but it bounced over his stick before he could deliver a backhand. Holmberg is stripped of the puck. Breaking out on center ice now is Lazar. Lazar squeezed off the dish there by McCabe, and the Leafs will counter. Holmberg sifting through center, then sends it back to the defense as the Leafs are changing.
Holmberg's looked good tonight. Handling the puck, he's made some plays.
Played ahead. Matthews missed it. Markstrom trapped it and plays it out at center for Hughes, but the Leafs turn the puck over and get it back in their own end. 13:16 to go in the third, and the puck is deflected out of play. Face-off coming in the neutral zone when we return. Devils 2, Leafs 1. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The College Football National Championship is finally here, and Sports Grid Radio and SiriusXM is covering it all from the sports wagering and handicapping perspective.
What's up, insiders?
Cheers. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight, the Leafs and the Devils. It's the first intermission. I hope I can get this in before the end of the first intermission without interrupting the game. I don't know if it's going to happen, but thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Look at the chat, absolutely popping off. Miss V, Veronica, Rod.
We lose. Coaches are probably yelling an expletive, right? About, whatever, how that particular trend is going. So you're right. So far, it's like perfect.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely.
What's up, insiders? Big third period ahead, but I'm sure by the time this gets uploaded, due to my lovely Wi-Fi here in the hood, Rod Bottomley, cheers, my man. I promise you, it's not the hood. My Cape Coral Yacht Club sign is not working. The sub, hey you, subscribe. The video didn't work, so I'm going to try uploading that again. This as well. Go Leafs, go. Big third period. I wanted to shout out these pictures here. This was my mom's favorite picture ever. It got damaged in Hurricane Ian. As you can see, we got about 2 feet of water in the house here, and it was not good. As well, though, this picture made it. Maple Leaf Gardens. I feel like we're closing down the gardens tonight here, Leafs fans. Closing down the office where this all started. Listening to Joe Bowen as a kid with dial-up internet. And I can't wait to show you that book. Lots of cool stuff in that book. From my vacations to Toronto as a teenager. Go Leafs go. Make sure you're here for the post game. All right? Make sure you're here. I keep walking forward. What the hell am I doing?
Leafs now get it free, and now Riley organizing as it finds Marner on the right wing side. Marner back to Riley. Dropped off for Nyes. Wrist shot coming. Big rebound. And Matthews is tripped up finally. A call. Trying to get to a rebound, and the Leafs will go to their second power play. Their first one lasted all of about 12 or 14 seconds.
Siegenthaler, I don't know what his argument is now with the referee. I think this was similar to the Ekman-Larsson penalty, where it's pretty obvious, although Sheldon Keefe appears to be chirping at the officials as well. But what makes us experts? We get to look at it on the replay. You see? Well, I mean, you know what? Like I said, it's the same as Ekman-Larsson's. It's sort of Matthews skates into the stick and goes down. And who was it? Dawson Mercer stepped on Ekman-Larsson's stick and fell. So
the Leafs with the power play. Marner off the face-off wing, works to the right wing side and shot it wide of the goal. Nylander traps on the left wing, and a bad pass intercepted, but he is able to steal it back. Got it back to the blue line, and Marner gives it back to him. Nylander top of the circles, off to Marner on the right wing, mishandled. Gets it back in front of the net for Matthews. Back to Nylander, a shot right on. Scores! Matthews on the doorstep. Jams in the rebound, and we are tied.
some scary moments when the puck goes back to the point. When the Leafs have 5 forwards on the power play, this time the Leafs are able to keep it in, and eventually it's thrown out to Willie Nylander, who's in the middle of the ice, inside the New Jersey blue line. He gets the pass, and he just one-times it to the net. 2 keys there. It gets through. Number 1. Number 2, Matthew Nyes is providing the screen right in front of Markstrom. And I don't know if Nyes got a piece of the original shot, but Matthews is able to gobble up the rebound, and I think that just goes over the left pad and under the left elbow of Markstrom to tie this game at 2.
Well, definitely Nylander will get an assist. But the game tied at 2s, and for the second time, the Leafs have tied the contest. Devils in the far corner. Luke Hughes knocks the official down. Domi gets the puck free, and out they come. Nylander on the right wing. To the line and in along with McMahon, who gets the pass. McMahon to the near side for Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Shooting! Domi was there, but he didn't get the stick on it to redirect it. And Markstrom was able to cover up on it and hold for a face-off coming in the New Jersey end.
That's the one thing, when you turn sideways to look for a rebound, you're not screening, right? And that's what we saw. The thing about Matthew Nyes, I mean, he is facing Willie Nylander when he lets it go. He's got his back to Markstrom, but he's facing him the whole way.
I think he did touch that.
Yeah, he might have redirected, but at the very least didn't give Markstrom the opportunity to handle it cleanly.
Face off to the right of Markstrom, won by the Leafs. Oliver Ekman-Larsson down the left wing boards. Works around back of the net. Takes it into the corner, being ridden in there hard by Dawson Mercer. And a penalty coming here to Toronto.
And Nick Robertson, this is going to be a hook. And we've talked about that. Now, it was sold pretty good by Dougie Hamilton as well, because with all due respect to Nick Robertson, I don't think a hook should lift Dougie Hamilton off his skates.
So it's Ekman-Larsson.
Oh, my apologies.
Yes.
I thought it was...
Yeah, I was with you.
Oh, scene of the game. Yeah, Robertson was in front of... Who was it? Dawson Mercer. But, yeah, then it was Dougie Hamilton. I mean, like I said, Hamilton sells this. It's a penalty. Most of the time, Joe, a hook into the hands.
The Leafs have given up 3 goals in their last 4 times shorthanded after running a pretty good streak of not giving up power play goals. So here's a big one here. Hamilton shot in traffic, knocked down in front of the goal, and a shot taken there off the wing by Hischier was stopped by Wall. Marner bringing it back one-on-one in over the line, overskated the puck. Mercer gets it up on the wing and now on the right side for Dougie Hamilton. Hamilton dropping it off and into the slot. A shot and wired wide of the goal by Brack. Puck in on the boards coming out as Hughes. That stopped the rebound in front. A shot down the ice by Toronto. Minute 18 to go. Hamilton dropping it back. Bratt brings it in across the line. Played back to the point. Hughes walks it back to Hamilton. A one-timer coming, went off the block in front of the net by one of the Leaf defenders. Comes back to Hughes again. Walks the line. Gets it returned. Hughes in with a pass. That stopped the rebound. Stopped the rebound. Scores! Hischier in front of the net. Battled hard and was being knocked down. But he gets his second of the game. And for the 3rd time, the New Jersey Devils have grabbed a 1-goal lead.
And the horrid part of this is a penalty in the offensive zone. When the Leafs had all the momentum, and all Jersey did, Joe, they just kept throwing it to the net. And eventually chip it past Joseph Wall. Wall stopped the initial shot with his right pad, but kicked it right back out onto the stick of Hischier, who was uncovered. And the uphill climb is uphill again.
Getting back there was Myers, but it was late. He filled in Hischier, but it was after the fact. The Devils bring it back in over the line. Here's a great chance and a goal! Oh, and that was stopped by Wall as Bastian worked in. The Kitchener native almost had extended the lead to 2. Puck still in the Toronto end. Pass intercepted by Nylander. He starts out. Nylander will send a diagonal shoot in. It came off the corner boards and almost trapped Markstrom way out of the net. Back it comes to Nylander. Near side. Nylander looking for a man back to the point. The shot coming, doesn't make it through. Another shot by Timmins, doesn't make it through. Puck into the slot area, comes back to the point. Timmins another drive that was deflected wide. Far side now for Hughes. Luke Hughes is able to free it up, and out come the Devils to center. Shot in by Brett Pesce. Out of the net wall. Place it along the boards. It'll come all the way to center ice. And right back into the Toronto zone it's played. Off a stick. Bounces to the blue line and bringing it out is Robertson. Robertson up on the left wing for Pacioretty. Sharp angle shot with a juicy rebound, but no one there to get to it. And the Devils get it back out at center ice. Chipping it there with Siegenthaler. Leafs regroup it, get it back in over the line with Riley. Shot from a sharp angle, handled there by Markstrom. Devils can't get it out. Another shot from the blue line by Robertson was stopped by Markstrom. Trying to get to the puck there was the Maple Leafs' Holmberg. He got tripped. Robertson can't lift the stick and get it away from one of the Devils. Pontus Holmberg almost did. And it's cleared now by New Jersey into neutral ice. Mercer will send it down into the zone, and he is ridden to the boards by Philip Myers. Leafs get it back in center for Nyes. Ahead for Marner along over the line. Marner with a shot off a leg and that went wide. Gets to the rebound in the corner. Marner around back of the net, run out of real estate thanks to the official, but they get it back to the point. McCabe over to Tanev. Back to McCabe. A pass in front of the net was deflected wide. Matthews with it on the near boards. Leafs with some urgency here. Down along the boards, far corner now for Tanev. Punched back of the net, it comes to the near wing for Marner. Marner back to the point, shot coming from Matthews, kicked away by Markstrom. Devils in need of relieving the pressure, get it out in center. Matthews traps it there and starts right back. He's going to head to the bench though. Remember the good old days of the 2.5-minute Phil Esposito shifts? Down into the zone go the Leafs. Bobby McMahon overskated the puck, able to get it back and send it high, but too high. And up into the screen it goes, and a face-off with 7:12 to play in the third. Coming in the Devil zone. 3-2, New Jersey. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
I don't want to say I'm a big deal, but I am a superhero. I love helping people consolidate their debts, and that's what I did for the Smiths. I took their bills and zoom, wha-bam, zap, turn them into one low monthly payment. No, the sound's not necessary, but it's part of the fun.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Just for license 12616.
NHLshop.ca, the official online store of the National Hockey League. And Canada's largest selection of officially licensed NHL fan gear. With unique one-of-a-kind designs by Fanatics. And all the latest styles for every NHL team. Don't miss out. Shop now and get today's special offer. NHLshop.ca, a Fanatics experience.
The 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid is here, and it may sound too good to be true. With a 2-liter 4-cylinder backed by 2 electric motors, giving a combined 200 horsepower, it's our most powerful and fuel-efficient Civic ever. Plus, with an estimated range of over 800 kilometers and available features like a Bose premium sound system, your crew will love it too. Huh, maybe it should be called the Civic 2.0. Redefine your drive with the 2025 Civic Hybrid. Visit your Ontario Honda dealer and test drive yours today.
Face-off coming in the New Jersey zone.
Now, talk to Tom Fitzgerald, who used to sit in front of me on the charters years ago when he played for the Leafs. I always remember this one thing where there was a flight attendant on the crew that would come by, and it was her first year, and she said, I'm trying to learn 2 names every trip. And she got to the very back of the plane where we were, and she asked my name, and of course I said Billy. So for the next 2 months, she would call me Billy. And then finally, after 2 months, Tom Fitzgerald turned around and said, who the hell is Billy?
Yeah.
You've been saying that. She said, he's sitting right behind you. He says, it's not Billy. That's when I knew he'd make a great general manager.
Really?
Yeah. He pays attention.
He does.
Yeah.
And he remembers names.
Yes.
And he remembered you weren't Billy.
Yeah, he didn't know what my real name was, but he knew it wasn't Billy.
Knew it wasn't Billy. Well, that's good. Yeah. That's good.
No, he was one of our favorites. So when
he sure was.
We talk about the likes of Curtis Joseph, Joe Nieuwendyk.
When I tell the story after here, Timmins works it down into the corner. Now tries to come out in front with a backhand, and that was stopped on the short side by Markstrom. Devils playing it off the boards to the line and out at center ice. Timmins up ahead for Domi. Domi launches it high, gets it down into the right wing corner. Luke Hughes played it up on the boards. and is slow to get up after a forechecking hit and heading to the bench. And the Leafs have it back in their own zone. 6.5 minutes to go in the third. Tanev, a pass for Nyes. Got it into the zone towards the net. It goes back to the goal. Marner couldn't trap it. Pinching to keep it in is the Leaf defense of Tanev. Marner stick handling in a circle there. Gets it back to the point. Tanev gives it back to great pass and a shot just wide. Tanev missed the net or he had a goal. Matthews off the end boards. Works back towards the blue line. Rips it into the corner, and now Marner goes around back of the net. Marner stops up in the far corner, centers! No one home. And the Devils are going to break it out at center ice. Down the left wing boards comes Hughes. He gets it into the slot for Bratt. Backhanded just wide of the far post. And if he had hit the post, it was going in. Pontus Holmberg turns for Toronto. Up ahead for Robertson. Waited too long, sends it in, and it's going to be offside. Story I tell about Tommy Fitzgerald. He has 4 boys. I had 4 boys. We were going to the lockout. I said, Tommy, maybe we should start a company called So You'd Like a Boy. I said, we got 9 months of great work, but the first girl that pops out, we're going to have to close the company. We never did follow up on that. No. It is a 3-2 New Jersey lead. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Everybody that be living it up, we said.
Yo, what's up? It's Sirius XM Fly. I can't come to the phone right now because I'm over on channel 50 playing those 90s.
What's my name? Let's flip the track, bring the old school back.
And 2000s hip-hop and R&B throwbacks.
Yeah, down, flip it and reverse it.
Commercial free, 24/7. Pull up, channel 50, and at home with Sirius XM on your phone, computer, Alexa, TV, or other internet-connected devices. Holla.
Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Playing in the Four Nations face-off for Team USA, Connor Hellebuck.
How do you feel about getting a chance to play for USA?
The type of hockey it's going to be fun. There's going to be some high-pressure games. You're going to be putting your country's jersey on. You're representing your country. I think we're going to have a great fan base around us, and I'm really looking forward to what it brings.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. From in the crease to in the locker room.
Four Nations Team Canada face-off associate GM Jim Nill. You as a manager view goaltending going into the tournament in February.
Now we're talking about 2 of the guys that won Stanley Cups and play in those type of pressure games. That's a pretty good resume to have. So we're pretty confident with it and pretty confident with the team that we're going to have playing in front of them.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back. Stick handles to the backhand. Loose in front. Score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
5:34 to play, third period. The Maple Leafs trail 3-2 to the New Jersey Devils.
About Tom Fitzgerald, it's amazing how teams can be built, but 3 highest paid players by position: forward Timo Meier, Dougie Hamilton on defense, and of course Markstrom on goal, are the highest paid players at those positions, and were all acquired via trade.
Dougie Hamilton's had a wonderful career, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. And I mean, that was a huge loss for them last season. And then there were such high hopes because season before not only made the playoffs, but were down 2-0 to the New York Rangers in the first round of the playoffs, came back and won that.
Hamilton in his own zone off a face-off win. Played out off the boards there for Paul Cotter. He couldn't get into the Leafs zone, and the Leafs down, peppered right back down in on Markstrom, who plays into the corner. Riley pinching, unable to keep it in. It comes to center, and it'll be Myers for the Leafs, banking it ahead, but no one near it. And icing called here against Toronto.
McCabe coming back in. It was Simon Benoit that drew the short straw coming out of the lineup. Again, there's depth there, right?
Yep. Fraser Minton and obviously John Tavares and Ryan Reeves not dressed tonight as well.
Fraser Minton got called up early in the year at 4 points in his first 5 games.
Robertson gives to Riley. Saucered ahead. Pacioretty couldn't get in over the line, but now Marner does. Marner works to the left wing board, stretching things out. Centers. Went right through the blue paint. And Matthews couldn't get a stick on it to redirect it. Now Nyes slashing away at it. Back of the goal it goes to Matthews. Matthews back to the point. It comes to Riley. Wrist shot coming. Blockered away nicely by Markstrom. Back of the net. Knocked down was Marner from behind. No call. And the amateur officials who saw the play correctly are clamoring for a penalty. Now Matthews in on the left wing. Shooting! Score! Holy mackerel, what a shot! You talked about him not getting it elevated off the bar. That one was off the roof.
2 of the last 3. The one against Dallas, same spot. Short side over the right shoulder on Markstrom. But Mitch Marner brought the puck over the line on the left wing boards. And as soon as he got over, just chipped it back off the boards where Matthews skated into it. Took the direct line towards the net. And he snaps this. I think this is a great sign, right? Seeing him score goals the old-fashioned Matthews way.
Well, I'll tell you, that had eyes.
And just before he lets it go, changes the angle.
Well,
and we're tied again.
3 times the Devils have grabbed the lead. 3 times the Leafs have come back to tie the game. And 4 minutes remain in the game. Or the third period, I should say. Down into the corner now for Nylander. But the big boys are scoring the goals. Matthews with a pair, Nylander with the other. Along the boards is Bobby McMahon. Backhanded it behind the net. Hughes will play it in along the wall. Knocked away by the Leafs and back into the corner it goes. Marner drawing the initial assist. And Jake McCabe back into the lineup also draws an assist for Toronto. A lead pass. Gets to center and Marner's back on there for Toronto. Little stutter step as he carries it through center ice. Draws to the line and in. Marner to the right wing side. Got a shot away, but it was blocked. He gets back to get the puck to Matthews, who gets it around to Riley at the near point. Set back from whence it came, and Marner is there. Back behind the goal for Nyes. Nyes to the blue line. D to D, it comes to Riley, and a shot. Gloved and knocked out the rebound in front. Oh, Matthews tipped it just wide of the net. Back to the far point, kept in. Riley, near side Nyes. Cross ice Matthews. Trying to get a shot away. Kicked it free. Riley works down into the corner. Centering pass comes back. One of the Devils has lost a stick. He's gone to retrieve it. Back into the end, behind the net for Morgan Riley. Riley in the far corner denies. Matthews is going to the bench while the puck is still down there. Now Riley to the point to Nylander. Closing, shooting! Blocked away by Markstrom. Great pressure by Toronto. Nylander again, holding to the left wing side. Lots of folks on their feet here as it goes to Willie again. Nylander around back of the net. Tired group out there for the Devils. Nylander holding. Nylander dropping it off for Riley. Riley's pass went off a stick, and the Devils are going to get a much-needed opportunity to get it out.
Yeah, Devil breaks his stick and just stands there in his own end.
Here's Hughes in for the Devils. A shot knocked away by Wall. Far side now for Palat. Back to the point it comes to Hamilton. He lost it. The Leafs play it out. Off the glass and into the penalty box. And a face-off coming in the Toronto end.
Doesn't it just blow you away that New Jersey player in his own end, not the long change, loses his stick and decides he's just going to play without one instead of taking an 8-second break. I mean,
four.
Yeah, maybe
really?
5.
Yeah. No, I don't. Your point is well made, and we've argued this forever.
I just don't understand. You consider, let's say power plays, 20% is probably the average?
Yep.
For a full 2-minute power play. So you think for 4 seconds they can't survive? I understand it maybe in the second period because it takes a little longer to go to the bench from your own end.
And maybe you have just a word that you yell. That lets everybody know what you're doing. You know, almost like a football play, right? Leafs get it across the line. Nylander sending it around the boards. 1:30 to go in the third period. Back of the net for Willie. Nylander back into the corner for Domi. Back to the point it comes. Jake McCabe's shot is swallowed up by Markstrom.
I've loved tonight's game from the Leafs, the defense getting the puck through. You know, and well, even just attempting shots with traffic in front has been so much better. And because I know we've talked about this a lot, that in order, to get more production out of the defense, you got to get people in front of the net. And the Leafs have been able to do that and have had some success with it.
Face off, one and a shot! Just off the pad of Markstrom by Marner.
That was a great stop.
Was it ever? Leafs back in their own zone. A bank pass for Nyes. He can't get in. Devils are going to flip it back into the Toronto end, and OEL will play it around on the boards for Riley. And a lead pass off a stick goes down into Devils territory. Marner into the forecheck, but it is brought out by Luke Hughes. Hughes gets it up on the left wing, and it is shot high into the Toronto zone. Jake McCabe back of the goal for Tanev. They exchange the puck. Brought back. Tanev starts out. He'll work to the right wing side and shoots it in with 36 seconds left to go in the third. Game is tied. Far side now for Palat. Played out at center ice for Hughes. And across the line, a good hit there. Was that Bratt, I believe? Yeah, Bratt got pasted well. McCabe starting back up ice with a rink-wide pass for Nylander. Chipped it off the boards, but a little bit too far for himself, but is able to get to it and drag it into the corner. Centering pass was just blocked. Comes back to the point with 8 seconds left. A shot. Toe save made by Markstrom. Flipped high to center ice. It appears we are headed to overtime.
41 shots for the Leafs in this game. 23 for the New Jersey Devils. And I know we've always or often referenced Harry Neal's line that coming out of a winning streak, you probably win a couple that you shouldn't have won. Coming out of a losing streak, you lose a couple you shouldn't have lost. We'll see how this goes, but to me this game is a fantastic sign for the Leafs. A lot more energy, a lot more on net, and at least get a point for their efforts.
19 shots for the Leafs in the period. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
An official bid for Mark Carney. This is Omar Sachedina. Tonight on CTV National News, the Liberal leadership race and the controversial carbon tax. Why some candidates could be changing their tune. Full details tonight at 11 and at ctvnews.ca.
Hey, it's Brian Hayes, and I've got to tell you why Planet Fitness works for me, and I know it will work for you. First and foremost, it's safe, clean, and a breeze to get in and out of because I use the Planet Fitness mobile app. And with most gyms being open 24/7 and the crowd meter feature on the app, I can work out on my schedule, not the gym schedule. So sign up today at planetfitness.ca or pop into any of the dozens of locations throughout the GTA and get back in the gym at Planet Fitness.
How can you protect your keys? Simply attach a War-Amps key tag to your key ring. If you lose your keys, the War-Amps can return them to you by courier for free. War-Amps key tags. They're free and they work. Order yours at waramps.ca.
TSN 1050. Listen anywhere. Stream your favorite shows in your car. Available on Apple CarPlay via the iHeartRadio app. TSN 1050. Everywhere you want it.
We go to overtime. We haven't had a shootout this year.
We haven't had one, since I believe it was March of last year against Carolina at home.
Well, we'll see what happens here. Leafs will defend the goal to our left as they switch ends. Matthews, McCabe, and Marner starting up front for Toronto. Heishier, who also is a 2-goal scorer on the night, with Hughes. And Hughes. The draw is poked down into the New Jersey end. Luke Hughes goes back.
And Heishier right to the bench.
And Luke Hughes waiting for teammates to swing. It comes up on the left wing, and it is Bratt in across the line. He is the one that was exchanged after Heischer won the faceoff. Luke Hughes getting it to him. Now dropped off for Jack Hughes. Hughes across the line into the slot area. Drops it back for his brother. A shot rang it off the post. And the rebound exploded all the way back to center ice. Hughes again. In on the right side. Stops up at the far post. Back it goes to his brother. Luke with a shot off the pad of Wall. And it went wide. Far side for Luke Hughes. Now in the shot deflected over top of the goal. The Leafs finally get possession of the puck and get it up ahead for Marner. Marner's going to send it over for McCabe. The Leafs are trying to get a change organized. A long lead pass. Nylander's got a breakaway. And a goal, he scores! Holy Mackinac, they lull them to sleep. And off the bench comes Willie. And Willie wins the game.
Jake McCabe and Mitch Marner play catch. And for some reason, the Devils say, okay, we can get a line change in here. Willie Nylander took off for the far blue line. Took the pass from Marner and walks in and snaps it. Past Markstrom, glove side, about a foot off the ice. To give the Leafs a 4-3 win in a game where they never had the lead. On shot number, well, now they have readjusted the shots. It's shot number 41 that has the Leafs win it.
Wow.
Yes, we do.
Three stars. Yes, we do. Yeah, just a minute. I got the script right here. If you just, you know,
I gotta take your time because I got to think of something.
All right. Actually, no, we don't have a sponsor, so you're right on. No, it's the other guys.
Oh.
Yeah. Here's the 3 stars brought to you this evening at great expense and thought by Bowen Broadcasting and James Ralph Enterprises, 2 conglomerates that are right up there. If you care to make a donation and buy a share, we'd love it.
Fortunately, we only have the money for 2 stars. But we'd certainly go Mitch Marner, star number 3, with the setups, Nylander and Austin Matthews with 2 goals each. We'll fill it out for the 3 stars of the night.
Great. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, I need more time to think about it. They had 2 goals each, and then Marner gets all of the assists, and you got to think about it.
Well, I had to check the score first. I'm no idiot.
Well, let's not start an argument here. We'd be here all night.
Yeah, we would.
All right. Well, we invite you to join us on Saturday night when we'll try to figure out who the 3 stars are then as the Leafs win this one in overtime on a goal by Willie Nylander. And we will be with you Saturday night at 7 o'clock. Post-game show with lots to talk about coming your way with Anthony Stewart and Jim Taddy. You've been listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on TSN 1050 and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Tennis fans, the first Grand Slam of the year, the 2025 Australian Open, is upon us. Sirius XM will take you to Melbourne for every game, set, and match.
A dream has been realized on Rod Laver Arena.
Here's Sirius XM's coverage of the 2025 Australian Open on XM 391 or on the Sirius XM app.
He's done it.
If you love tennis, your center court is Sirius XM.
NHL Morning Skate.
I think general managers must sit back in their chairs, Gord, and they must say, okay, if we make a coaching change here, chances are that at least for 10 games, we're more than competitive, and we're probably going to win much more than we lose.
Coaches are probably yelling an expletive, right? About, whatever, how that particular trend is going. So you're right. So far, it's like perfect.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellick. Weekdays, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Playing in the Four Nations face-off for Team USA. Connor Hellebuck.
How do you feel about getting a chance to play for USA?
The type of hockey it's going to be fun. There's going to be some high-pressure games. You're going to be putting your country's jersey on. You're representing your country. I think we're going to have a great fan base around us, and I'm really looking forward to what it brings.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
Avalanche General Manager Chris McFarland. What went in to maybe change that duo in goal?
With the work of our scout, Wedgwood's experience, he was a veteran guy, he's been through the grind. We were very bullish on McKenzie, and when the opportunity came to add him, we just felt it was the right move for us, long term.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. The big names are on NHL Network Radio.
Devils head coach Sheldon Keefe. You decided to jump right back into it.
New Jersey Devils reached out really within an hour or so of the news coming out of me being let go. And the more I got to know Tom and his vision for the team and seeing the situation, it was a tremendous opportunity that I couldn't let pass by.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from Real Madrid. Merseyside magic from Mo Salah.
Now with more matches featuring soccer's most iconic clubs as they battle it out for European supremacy.
What a start for Inter! Haaland scores the hat-trick!
From the league phase to the final, the Champions League is on Sirius XM FC 157 and the all-new Sirius XM app.
Ray Hudson here with an important announcement. You can listen to your favourite Sirius XM FC shows on the all-new Sirius XM app, now available for all subscribers.
Is Leafs Game Night on TSN 1050 and the Leafs Radio Network. The Leafs live here.
Marner's going to send it over for McCabe. The Leafs are trying to get a change organized. A long lead pass. Nylander's got a breakaway. And a goalie scores! Wow, what a finish. 4-3. The Leafs win over the Devils in overtime. Exciting overtime. Jim Taddy, Anthony Stewart, and Jimmy Ralph kind enough to hang around. Leafs Game Night live from Scotiabank Arena. Ralphie, I mean, there seemed to be, you could feel the frustration boil over, and the Leafs' best players really dug in with this game on the line, didn't they?
Yeah, but I think even before the tying goal and the eventual overtime winner, this was the best game they had played maybe in over a month. Where everything else seemed to be, you could win, you could lose. Nobody really dominated. I thought for the most part, and obviously evident in the third period, that they did so many things. They had more energy. I loved the fact that they had, I think, and hopefully somebody, if anybody does analytics on this, they had more shot attempts from the point in this game than I think they have in probably the last 7 or 8 games combined. It did lead to the Matthews goal on the power play with Matthew Nye standing in front. But I just love the fact that they sent guys to the net and got the puck there. And I was thinking, even if you lose 3-2, there are a lot of positives to come out of this game.
Yeah.
And this might be the game you lose before coming out of a losing streak. But a lot of positives. And like you said, when it came right down to it, Matthews with 2, Nylander with 2, that was the difference.
We've been preaching, I think, the whole city's been preaching about simplicity, especially on the power play. And Austin Matthews, I noticed, he was net front a lot more the last couple games, especially tonight. And he ended up making the Leafs power play go 1 for 2 for tonight.
Well, and what I love too, Stewie, was now you go back to the Dallas game as well. I don't think we'd seen a lot of Austin Matthews shot bar down and scoring, and he does it on Jake Ottinger and Jacob Markstrom. So I think that's a good sign as well that if there was any problem or any discomfort shooting the puck, it seems like Austin Matthews is getting back. By the way, he's now, I think, in 21 games against the Devils, 21 goals. So this was probably the best scenario for Austin Matthews to continue a goal streak, but get some confidence back.
You know, they got in the way of themselves a couple of times. So you go back to the second period, 6:14, they score 1-1, and then exactly 2 minutes later on a power play, it's 2-1, and then Matthews ties it in the third period, and then 2 minutes and a second later on a power play, it's
What's
3-2.
up, insiders?
But even when
Big
it was
third
3-2,
period
as you
ahead,
said,
but I'm sure by the
you
time
felt that they were emptying the tank, that something was going to come out of this, and it did. And that Matthews goal that ties it at 3, I mean, talk about threading the needle.
Yeah, and you know, Mitch Marner, again, makes this clever little play. He's standing still at the New Jersey blue line. Gets the puck on the left wing boards, takes 2 strides, and a little bump pass back off the boards onto the stick of Matthews, and lets knowing Matthews is coming over the line with speed. And that's, like I said, when you try to explain to people, you know, our view up here, or if you're playing the video game at home, and you see the whole ice surface, you see where everybody is. That's what Mitch Marner sees. You know, when he's on the ice and there's 9 bodies flying around you, and you know, in all different directions and everything, he sees the way we see the game up here. And Stewie, I'm sure you'd agree that the best thing about being in broadcasting is how much smarter you get when you get up here.
Yeah, I know it all here. I got illusions, think I can come back and play, put me in the power play. But, you know, for me, you talked about emptying the tank there. Is there a little bit concerned right now that the fourth line only played, 5.5 minutes? Like, you can't sustain that. You need 4 lines,
but that's playing the score, right? Yep. You know, if you're chasing the game a little bit. Although I thought they had a great shift in the third period, where, remember, Dewar and Camp were in and they forced a turnover. They didn't get a shot on goal, but to me it was a continuation of the Leafs pushing in the third period. You're right. I mean, you can't. You know, especially when you've got back-to-back games coming up, you can't sit your fourth line like that. But obviously, I'm sure if you're Craig Berube, even if the score was tied long enough, you would have been able to have more opportunities to get them out there. But just felt like they were chasing the game all night.
That was their only shift in the third period.
That was a good one.
It was, it was. But they only had one shift.
Yeah, and it's it just felt like you said, Jim, and it's sort of been a trend this year. Score, give one up.
Yeah,
you know that. I'm trying to think of some of the other games of late where it's cost them some games as well, where they have that blip. And I think the tough thing about the goal in the third period is I know it's accidental, but you know, Ekman Larsson takes another penalty in the offensive zone, and that's another thing that the Leafs have really got to clean up, is those offensive zone penalties that have nothing to do with defending, nothing to do with taking away scoring opportunity for the opposition.
Well, I mean, it's the star players that won this. What was your take on Wall's performance? Because I would assume that he's going to start in Montreal Saturday.
Yeah, He's not there yet. He's sort of hit, like the guys around him, he's sort of hit a stretch of being average. And that doesn't mean he's costing him games, but we've gotten spoiled with Joseph Woll since he's come into the league of watching him win games. And we're talking about, you thought maybe the, who was it, Nyes came in alone on Markstrom in the second period.
Yeah.
You're going, it's those saves that were winning games before. Those great moments. And like I said, it's not to be critical. But, you take playoff Joseph Woll against the Bruins last year. I mean, he was winning games.
Yep.
Not only was he stopping everything he should stop, but you're making now 2 or 3 saves a game where you're saying, hey, if those go in, they're not bad goals. And I think that's what I try to gauge a goaltender now is, well, unfortunately I gauged it when I was still playing, that you say, whether he was good or not, you say, okay, if he stops this goal, is it a great save? And so then you say, no, it was stoppable. It should have been an average stop. And, it happens. You try to take into consideration, did it go off somebody? Was there a screen? Some of the other variables. But right now I would say he's just sort of hit an average stretch. And Joseph Woll and Stolarz were so good at stealing games, stealing moments earlier in the season. I'm not concerned with it. Yeah. I think, he hasn't played a lot at this level for an extended period, so he might be learning how to manage his energy and time and focus and everything else.
Taking a look at the stats, a huge game in his return for Jake McCabe. 24 minutes, 2 assists, +3, 5 shots on goal, 5 blocks. Like, he was, I noticed he had a big hit in the third period, but he was all over the ice tonight.
Yeah, and to come back, I mean, when you go through what he's gone through, too, you would think it's easy to be shy, coming back, to get back into it. I know we've also often referred to him as the Scott Sterling of hockey. if people that don't know, Scott Sterling is a mythical soccer goalie. But he always seemed to, everything was a shot that seemed to catch him up, or a high stick and everything. But, there's the way he plays, and there's just the character that I think he brings to the dressing room and the blue line that is so key.
Well, it's you could, I go back to, you could feel that they'd had enough of this and wanted to do something about it. That was evident in the building, and it sure showed up in the scoreboard eventually, and just kind of fun to watch them sort of work their way out of that.
Yeah. Now, the other thing, when you talk about the players addressing the crowd and being booed and everything, the crowd was great tonight. I mean, the crowd, it's a reactive crowd, right?
Yeah.
So give us something to cheer about, and we'll cheer. But we ain't egging you on. That's your job. And that's what I found. Like for a New Jersey Devil game on a Thursday night at home, I thought this atmosphere was pretty special.
Yeah, they've done a pretty good job, the Leafs as a whole, just sort of weathering the storm with regards to the outside noise. Yes, there's been some quotes that probably the fans don't like, but this is a team sitting in first place in the division. I don't understand, why the sky is falling. And I was talking about, the Winnipeg Jets had a 4-game losing streak. They lost 5 of 6. The Florida Panthers, Tampa Bay, there's going to be ups and downs with this group.
Well, Joe and I were talking about earlier, what would worry you more is if they had a 60-win season like the Boston Bruins did, and Boston and Tampa, and they were both gone in the first round. To me, that would have worried me, because you're going, oh no, you haven't faced any adversity all year, and now you got to carry this into the postseason. And if you lose the first game of a playoff series, you're going to be going, what do we do now?
Mm-hmm. I was just going through the shot attempts by the blue line, and not that get through, but shot attempts, 39.
From the Leafs?
Yeah.
And that's, again, I'm sure there's all kinds of stats on it, but I'm guessing that could easily be a season high for them.
Riley had 13, 7 that got through, 5 and 1.
Why, that's awesome, eh?
It is, yeah. Okay, Ralphie, thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Love you guys.
Don't take it too far, guys.
Train safe. Train safe.
Oh my goodness! You never know where this is going to go.
It's funny what wins do to you. It makes you fall in love with the team, literally. Yeah.
Well, I just go back to, and we'll do this over the next half hour. Is you could just feel it, like, let's get rid of this. That you could feel it coming from the players.
Yeah, and I think it starts from the top guys, right? And what I noticed with Austin Matthews and Marner, they were leading the charge in getting down and dirty. They were getting into the forecheck. They were getting into the corners. They were rubbing guys out, and that's contagious. And we talked about the crowd. They just want honest effort, and they were sort of cheering just the minute things, a big hit or keeping the puck in. The crowd wants to cheer for this team, and ultimately in the third period, they gave that honest effort in getting it back. So, what I liked about it was just the simplification. We talked about it starting on the power play, and it is simple to shoot the puck and go to the net for a rebound. And it's not just firing it. It was a perfect pot shot by, I believe it was Nylander there, just shoot for the pad and then crash the net. And it wasn't just Austin Matthews in front of there. There was numbers, right? You saw McMahon on the pop-out. Nyes is right in front. So layers and numbers, and that's Craig Berube hockey. So now, you go back and you review the tape tomorrow. You're like, guys, this is exactly what we need to do. And just that simplification got them back into this game and ultimately had them take it over.
Well, and how simple could it be with skill guys skill and worker or physical guys get physical, and that's exactly what happened.
Yes, and you mentioned the shot attempts. Was it 22 out of the 41 shots were from the defenseman, right? So they were almost just picking apart Markstrom, just and that's a lot of workload for a goaltender, right? They're coming into town here and with the travel, and so that's a lot of work for him. And eventually, not saying he tired out, but that sort of impacts his game. So. That fourth line, they did have the one shift, as Ralphie mentioned, but they made it count. But you can feel the momentum, and that's sort of what's been with this group. They have the momentum, and they give it away. They score a goal, and then 30 seconds later, a goal is scored against them. So they found a way just to sort of keep that momentum in the third, get the power play goal, get it going, and their big dogs took over. What a shot by Austin Matthews, right? It's you almost think it's lucky, but he did it against Ottinger, who's a top goalie in the league, and he comes in and picks the corner on a 6'4", 6'5" goalie in Markstrom. So what a big game player. That's the loudest I've heard this building in a while, and then Nylander brings it home in overtime. So.
Well, and that's because it was the result of what we were seeing, and then all of a sudden he gets set up and goes. I mean, that's threading the needle, as I say. I mean, that's top corner, short side, and it's just interesting to watch. We do have some audio, and Austin Matthews on the team's performance tonight. Let's listen in.
Yeah, just staying with it, and I thought we competed hard all game, and just had to battle our way and grind through and push it till the end. Obviously, it took a full 60 minutes plus, but just proud of the guys and just sticking with it. Everybody rolling out 4 lines, just thought the competitiveness was there all night. So.
Just how big a difference does it make when Jake McCabe's back in the line?
Oh, he's such a big, plays such a big role in our team back there, and offensively, but defensively, he's playing against the top lines, tough players, and he brings that physicality, and a guy that's been around for a while, and plays a big role on our team. So it meant a lot to have him back there, and he played great.
You guys are going through a bit of a tough stretch. You're down in the 4th game. How do you keep the mindset positive and make sure this one didn't slip away as well?
Yeah, I think just one shift at a time. I mean, not losing our composure, just staying focused. Competitive all over the ice. I thought, the second and third period were just really good periods by our group, and even when we did, we cut the game, gave up the lead again, but I thought we just stayed with it, rolled it after shift, and were able to tie it up and finish the job in overtime.
How big to draw a penalty like you did and have the 5-forward power play pay off?
Yeah, I mean, we got a power play there earlier in the game, and then we took a penalty. So, I think a lot of times getting those power plays, even if you don't score, just trying to get the momentum back. But obviously getting that goal to tie it up was big. I think it brought some life onto the bench, brought some life into the arena, which was nice, and just went from there.
It seems to be getting a lot of breakaways lately. You have a pretty good feeling when you got that one in overtime. That's how you finish it off.
I don't know who gets more breakaways in the NHL than this guy. So, I had a pretty good feeling about it.
We were talking to him yesterday, and he was smiling away, saying it's going to come. And what do you know the pressure that a goal scorer faces? What do you appreciate about how he navigates the times when there are dry spells?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really, change. I think he's the same person through and through. Attitude stays the same. He's going to do his thing out there, and he's not really going to let any outside noise kind of bother him. So I think that's something that you really appreciate.
Mitch hit 700 points tonight, 701 actually. What stood out about his night here?
Yeah, it was great. I thought, it was a competitive game. There wasn't a lot of space there. Really had to, work for everything that we got, and that's what he does. He makes big time plays when we need him, and he definitely did that tonight.
So that is Austin Matthews after the 4-3 win by the Leafs in overtime over at New Jersey, and Sheldon Keefe, and we'll come back and wrap it up further. This is Leafs Game Night live from Scotiabank Arena on TSN 1050, the iHeart Radio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Jan owns a home and a restaurant fusing French and Mexican cuisine. But she is fusing no more because her ovens have gone kaput. She called Alpine Credits, who sent their speedy superhero. With her business loan approved, her ovens were quickly fixed. The hero.
What's up, insiders? Big third period ahead, but I'm sure by the time this gets uploaded, due to my lovely Wi-Fi here in the hood, Rod Bottomley, cheers, my man. I promise you, it's not the hood. My Cape Coral Yacht Club sign is not working. The sub, hey you, subscribe. The video didn't work. So I'm gonna try uploading that again. This as well. Go Leafs, go, big third period. I wanted to shout out these pictures here. This was my mom's favorite picture ever. It got damaged in Hurricane Ian. As you can see, we got about 2 feet of water in the house here, and it was not good. As well, though, this picture made it. Maple Leaf Gardens, I feel like we're closing down the gardens tonight here, Leafs fans. Closing down the office where this all started, listening to Joe Bowen as a kid with dial-up internet. And I can't wait to show you that book. Lots of cool stuff in that book. From my vacations to Toronto as a teenager. Go Leafs go. Make sure you're here for the post game. All right? Make sure you're here. I keep walking forward. What the hell am I doing?
Early in overtime over visiting New Jersey. Chip Taddy and former NHLer Anthony Stewart with you. And Stu, I mean, so much ground was covered by this team in the course of this game that the first period seems like a real faint memory, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you see the first period numbers. They controlled a lot of the possession, right? But it's not about the possession. It was a lot of the shots were from the outside, a lot of one and done plays, and just a lot of circling around the zone and not really being effective, right? So you could call it where you want the team to sort of have more of a ground and pound approach, but they had sort of a death by 1,000 cuts and sort of slowly picking apart. But what I noticed is they turned it on in the third period. They understood that they needed to pick it up and have a little bit more urgency and knowing that they were running out of time, and they managed the clock really, really well. They had momentum. They lost it a couple times, a couple untimely penalties, but ultimately what I liked about it was the big guns sort of stepped up and said, you know what, enough is enough. You put it perfectly, and what a great shot by Austin Matthews. But I don't think enough credit to, and he didn't get a start tonight, but Mitch Marner, he was driving the play. He was making big plays. He was in on the forecheck, and watching live, and I'm not sure if the fans saw it on television, he's battling and competing in front of the net. He's fighting for space, and that's contagious amongst the group. Here's one of the most skilled guys in the National Hockey League, going to have over 100 points, over $100 million in the bank, and here he is now playing with truculence and urgency. So that sort of picks the other group up, saying, okay, I'm coming over the boards next shift. I have to at least match this energy, and that's how you get that momentum back. But it started with the power play again, with Austin Matthews going to the net. If we're doing power play meetings going forward, we're just rolling that tape. What do we need to do? Yeah. Do this, do this, do this. It's almost like you're just ingraining it to them, like sort of the Army does. Just put it on video, just put it on repeat, so it's ingrained into their brain. This is what they have to do. So it wasn't the prettiest game, but what I liked about it, they sort of grew as the game went along, and they found a way to get it done.
Rinse and repeat is what you were looking for, right?
Perfect time, yes. Yeah. Perfect phrase.
Well, so the other thing is that you might look at the first half of this game and tie it back into losses to Dallas, Vancouver, and Carolina, or you could look at it this way, moving forward without JT, which is a significant loss for this team, and maybe they were trying to figure out how to perform without him.
Yeah, but I think they've had that next man up mentality, right? And yes, JT is since he moved up to that second line, really stabilized that top six. But I think Domi did an admirable job of coming in, winning his faceoffs. He had a lot of speed. You saw him make that great play on Nylander's first goal and really sauce passing it right into the slot there too. But again, that second line was great. McMahon had some great feet. You saw him on the one power play goal pop out. So collectively, I think the top six was going. Robertson was skating. Pacioretty was getting in on the forecheck. So collectively, I think 9 out of the 12 forwards were going. The fourth line didn't play much, 5.5 minutes. But after that Hischier goal in the third period, in the last couple of weeks, that's a guarantee loss for the Maple Leafs.
That's a killer right there.
Right?
Yeah,
and you saw the time sort of just trickling, but they got back to work after that goal. The next shift, they came in, got in the forecheck, and they just created space for Austin Matthews to tie it up with about 5.5 minutes there. So they found a way, and the quote is, it's not the art business. It doesn't have to be pretty. But if I'm Craig Berube, this is the system. You stick to it. It may take the last minute of last period for it to work, and tonight it did.
Well, and that's the key point is throughout the losses and throughout this game tonight, they stuck with that system, and it eventually turned around for them, as opposed to what we would have seen in the past, which would have been an unravel. Stretch passes, going for it, and then when it didn't work, didn't look good. It was like throwing the towel in almost, although they didn't. But in the past, you would see that sag in the team when they didn't get rewarded, right?
Yeah, it's just, we always use our other sports. It's Larry Holmes. They just find a way to keep trucking. They're going forward. They're not. They're bending. They're not breaking. But even now, typically what we've seen is, it's easy to jump on the team, but we didn't see any outbursts from Craig Berube on the bench. He has trust, saying, hey, you know what? We believe in you guys. And we talked about in the first period on the power play there where Nylander turned it over. What did he do? Did he bench him? No, but again, he's the genius of the group, because I was saying to bench him and seeing if it motivates him, but what it did, he kept him going, and ultimately he probably took responsibility for that play and said, you know what, I got to get our team back in the game, and he ended up scoring 2 goals, including the overtime winner. So I think that's the one thing, there's the outside noise, but Craig Berube is still learning this group, but he knows this group and knows what buttons to push and when to push it. So tonight was an easy game for them to roll over. They found a way to lose against Carolina. Dallas, they weren't really going. Vancouver was an air burger that was so bad I forgot about it. But This was a statement game. This was a statement game.
Yeah.
I'm not hungry because I had 2 dinners tonight, but it was a statement game. It's spoiling Sheldon Keefe's return, and it was a solid. It wasn't a 60-minute game, but they found a way, and that's what good teams do. They find ways, whether they bring their A game or their B game every single night.
When I did some sort of an audit earlier today, and I couldn't find the 4 hours that I spent in the rink Saturday night. I couldn't find them anywhere.
You thought I was here. That's how bad it was. I wasn't even here.
Well, you didn't miss much. Coach's comments powered by your Ontario Honda dealers. Up your game. Lease the CRV from 2.99% up to 36 months. Visit HondaOntario.com. Coach Berube, what he liked about his team's game tonight?
Battled. I thought we battled hard all game. That was the biggest thing for me. Our battle, our second and third effort in all zones.
The power play, which has struggled, you draw a penalty and get a power play.
The last 10 games is 23%. It's not struggling. I get what you're saying. It's struggled at times in games where we have 2 or 3 players. We're looking at Vancouver where it struggled. Yeah. I get it. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I understand what you're saying as well. But to draw a penalty and get one, when
it was huge,
especially with John out and McMahon in that spot now.
Yeah, no, it was huge goal. And again, power plays. There's plays, I get it, but it's getting into the net with numbers around the net. They scored a goal the same way. You got to shoot pucks. You got to have numbers around the net. It doesn't have to be complicated.
Also was saying that he feels like there's nobody in the league who gets more breakaways than Willie. When he's going well, what gives him the ability to generate so many chances?
I think he reads the game very well. Got a real high hockey IQ with reading where he can get open and take advantage of people. That's great play by Mitch too, to read the change and get it up to Willie. Willie had a heck of a game. I thought that he had second and third effort on pucks. He was working tonight, as everybody was. I thought the whole team worked, competed hard. That's a good team over there. They got some real high-end players that can do a lot of things. Thought we checked well and kept at it. We were down, but we kept playing, kept working.
How do you like that compete level in the first game when John is out too?
Yeah, no.
Obviously needed that.
Yeah, 100%. You miss a guy like that when in terms of the compete and the battles and things like that. So I thought we got that effort from everybody tonight. We didn't. Our offensive zone play was a lot better tonight because of movement and shot attempts. That made a big difference. I thought that was the biggest difference for me.
What kind of lift does it give to the team when Matthews is picking out the net the way he is, like with his shot?
Yeah, well, he led the way. I thought that he was dialed in. He was working, shooting, attacking, doing a lot of good things. And we need that from our leader.
What stood out to you about Marner's night? He hits 700 points.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. I just found out after the game that it's the fastest in Leafs history. So, well, he's a heck of a player. We all know that. You guys seen him a lot more than me over the years, and there's not much he can't do, in terms of the game.
Like what Max did on the Nylander goal, filling in for John tonight.
Yeah, I thought Max had a really good game. Battled, got on pucks, won battles. He's a very good passer. He hit OEL twice, backdoor. He makes plays. He's a very good passer, but, he stepped up his intensity in the game and, just being involved around the play more, which is important.
Why did you decide to stick with the 5 forwards with John out, and why was the McMahon the choice to join those guys?
Well, with Bobby, he's been a good player for this year. Scoring some goals and things like that. So the idea of it is I wanted a big guy in that bumper just for net presence and things like that with Nyes. With kind of how our power play is set up, I want 2 big guys at that net.
Coach Berube, after the 4-3 win in overtime by the Leafs over the Devils, I'm intrigued with Max Domi just because we've seen this in the past. When you push him up, he really responds, doesn't he?
Yeah, and sometimes he gets a little bit hiding in the pocket and sort of hides below the top six, or Matthews and Marner and Tavares and Nylander. But he's a very high skilled individual. He can make plays. He can come in across the blue line, pull up, and make a cross ice. He's very, very skilled. So I think for him, it's just, simplifying a little bit, getting to the net and shooting the puck. And he didn't have a shot tonight, but you saw that pass to Nylander there in the slot. Like, he sauced it over 2-6 sticks. Yeah. So I think for him, it's just having more of that mentality, saying, like, hey, I can be a guy. Regardless if I'm the guy, I have to be a guy. And, the expectations with the contract and where, he should be. He should be a 15 to 20 goal guy and 50, 60 points. So I think he's still finding his way, but that's a player I think come playoff time can play a heavy game and, be an impact player. But he showed it tonight in his elevation in the second line. He did not disappoint, and that second line was a difference maker tonight.
Absolutely. We'll step out, come back, and get more sound. 4-3, the Leafs win in overtime over New Jersey. This is Leafs Game Night on TSN 1050, the iHeart Radio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
Just 2 matches remain in the league phase of the UEFA Champions League, and all the drama is on Sirius XM FC.
Antoine Griezmann has done it in the most dramatic style.
Action continues in Madrid, where Atletico look to punch their ticket to the knockout stage with a win over the ever-tough Bayer Leverkusen.
Florian Wirtz has bent home a beauty.
Atletico versus Leverkusen, Tuesday at 3 Eastern on Sirius XM FC, channel 157 in the car and streaming on the Sirius XM app. The UEFA Champions League is back on.
What's up, it's Hey Insiders, thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight for this Leafs game, this Raptors game, this college football playoff game, this NFL playoff game. We do it all here on Toronto Sports Insider, and I just wanted to say thank you for making this the place to be, to hang out and watch sports together as a community and keeping it classy. Don't forget, please hit the like button, please share the link. That brings more fans to the chat to hang out with us and have some fun. And don't forget that a percentage of revenue every single game is donated to SickKids Hospital in Toronto. I am standing here at the Tony Rotino Senior Center in Cape Coral Yacht Club that no longer exists after Hurricane Ian. This is where I grew up. Thank you for inspiring me and helping me create this community where we make a difference with SickKids Hospital, because it is nothing but success in the future for us and SickKids, and we are going to make a difference in my mother's name. Mom, Karen, I miss you. I love you so much. Let's go Leafs. Let's go Raptors. Thanks for being here.
Goal tonight, and he made, let's get his record here. What did he do? He stopped 21 of 24. Here he is post-game on the team's effort.
Yeah, it was a good game by us. I think just watching the game speaks for itself. I think we dominated play for a lot of it in their zone, and obviously got a lot of shots, a lot of good chances, and pretty awesome to see our guys battle back like that and hit some goals late and win in OT.
Felt like you were also battling throughout the night. Like, how do you sum up your night here?
Yeah, it was kind of a mix of being not so busy and watching our guys take it to them, and then having a few chances. But really, I think this one goes out to our team. I think we played so well, played structured, played well defensively, and played a lot of time in their zone. So I think this one's really on the boys.
Austin was saying that nobody in the league gets more breakaways than Willie when he got that one in OT, and I think the feeling he was going to finish it off.
Yeah, I think there's a good amount of confidence when you see him going in alone. Facing him every day, I know he's obviously a special player, and he seems like he always steps up in those moments.
What makes him tough in one-on-one situations? Goalie's perspective on that.
On Willie's?
Yeah, when he's there in one-on-ones.
Yeah, I think with him, it's tough because he doesn't give you much to read off of, and it feels like if you move at all, he's going to pick that spot. So it's tough. He makes you feel like you have a lot of holes because it feels like there's always something available, and he finds it. Like he's very good at reading the goalie.
How big did it change back when you kicked the kid?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, you guys can see it as well, how strong we are defensively, and he's a big part of our team, and I thought he was great out there.
For you, we noticed you stayed out late at practice yesterday. Was there anything in particular you were focused on coming into this game?
I think with each game you learn a few small things, and I think our practice has been kind of limited. So for me, I'm just trying to make good use of the time and try to get some things to be more habitual. But other than that, I think just coming in and fighting to get a win.
You're talking about William picking his spots. What's it mean to see Austin picking his spots more and more here?
Yeah, he's had a couple nice shots over the past 2 games. I see him every day in practice, and he does the same thing to me. So a little bit of empathy for the other goalies, but it's when he's in alone like that, it's you count on him.
Joseph Wall at the end of the game. So, 2 images. First of all, New Jersey in overtime rang when I think it was Jack Hughes right off the post. And the next save that Wall made was a little, made you a little worried about where this was going to go. The other thing is that point about Austin Matthews. I mean, how the heck would you even stop that?
Yeah, and there's been some questions if, where he's at with his game. And, well, we know the shot's there, right? He's been a game breaker, and he had actually a pretty quiet first half of the game. But I noticed he was a little bit more engaged physically, and it's worth noting every single Maple Leaf was over 50% on their face-offs tonight, and Matthews was 50%. Nylander was actually 4 wins, 3 losses. So everyone was dialed in near the end of the game. They find a way to elevate. And for me, Wall found a way to get it done. Yes, he had an .876 save percentage, but he made those saves. There was a couple counter punches that New Jersey had, and we were all holding our breath in that overtime there as we're like, okay, you know what, here it goes. They got the puck possession here. They've held it a couple times, but he found a way to make that save, and they go back and they win the game. So for me, it's I think Wall understands he's going to be playing the lion's share of the games, and he's going to have some off nights. But for me, he found a way to get the win tonight, and I'm sure he wanted 1 back, possibly 2. But for me, I give him a B, and we don't need spectacular. I know they've been getting spectacular most of the season between him and Stolarz, but every single night, if he's giving a B minus game, like they still have a chance to win with the defensive system that they have and some of the game breakers and like they did tonight and stepping up and ultimately getting the win.
Well, I go back to Ralphie's point. I mean, in his career, he's played well, but he hasn't had to carry the load. The same for Stolarz earlier in the year, and both have been put in that position through injury and have responded well. So, I mean, this was something that couldn't have been predicted. If Hildeby goes Saturday in Montreal, that's expected because Monday night they're back here against Tampa, and I don't see Wall playing both those games. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But, he's established himself as without Stolarz, he can carry it, and you deal with it.
Yeah, and eventually, every professional started off as an amateur, and I don't think Van Gogh started off, painting masterpieces. You have to work your way up there, and this is a guy that hasn't been in the league for 10 years. He's relatively just getting his opportunity now, and yes, we worked in art with boxing tonight, but again, it's going to take some time, and just look at years past where the goaltending was the Achilles heel of this group. They could not get it done, and it was the storyline every single night. So if it's him letting in a goal that might not might be questionable here and there, that's an upgrade from what this group has had in years past, where the goalie's letting them down in the playoffs. And where does he show up last year in the playoffs? I know he was hurt, but I think it's an upgrade. And between him and Stolarz, when they're back, we were talking about them being the 1-2 punch of the league amongst the leaders there, and I'm sure they'll get back to there when and if Stolarz comes back as well.
Yeah, I mean, I just, as you were describing that, I kept thinking to myself, how many times over the course of my career did somebody come up to me and say, "You've never done that before"? And my answer always was,
I don't think when your first year you were saying yes, guy. You built up to that.
No. But my line always was, "It's a good thing I learned how to walk." And they go, "Why?" I said, "So I can leave."
Yeah.
Boom, see ya.
Yeah, that's a perfect point. That's a perfect point.
I mean, everything happens eventually, and whether you've done it before or not. Yeah. So the Leafs did it tonight, 4-3 over the Devils in overtime. Stu, take the rest of the night off.
Oh, thank you. I'm walking home now.
Well, there we go. It's a good thing you learned how to walk. This is Leafs Game Night on TSN 1050, the iHeart Radio app, and the Leafs Radio Network.
You've been listening to NHL Play-by-Play on Sirius XM.
What's up, Insiders? What a post game. What a game we had tonight. The Leafs get the win in overtime. Willie Nylander on the breakaway puts it home. Go Leafs, go. That's what I'm talking about, getting the win over New Jersey. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. What a night it was here at the office, the Gardens. I'll never forget that night watching that game, February 13th, 1999, with my mom at the sports bar, hanging out, mugs and jugs. Love it. That was the place. Hanging out, listening, watching the game at that time because we had no way to watch the game. We had to go to the sports bar. And that's where these ideas came from. Go Leafs, go. It's been so much fun tonight. I've been a little bit struggling here because of, the fact that I'm leaving. But I can't wait for the future. The future is going to be absolutely awesome here on Toronto Sports Insider. We're going to get that plaque, 100K. No post game from the rooftop, Roboto. Too many beverages this evening to be climbing a ladder to the roof. Not safe. I need to do the Raptors game tomorrow and the football playoffs on Sunday. I want to introduce you guys to a special guest of the show, a good friend of mine here that I grew up with, my buddy Joel. Come on, Joel, get your ass in here.
What's up, Mike?
Man, me and Joel grew up together right here. Little kids being punks down at the yacht club, all those videos that you saw tonight. Being kids, living the dream now, hanging out together,
yes,
raising our kids. That's what it's all about.
Raise the family and
yep,
and then shutting down the garden. Man, it's been crazy 35 years and
yep.
It's only going to get better after this.
You got it. It's only up from here. It's time to go get that plaque.
Sounds good.
Let's go Leafs, go. What a win.
Go Leafs, go.
Remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL, 7 p.m., Columbus Blue Jackets face the San Jose Sharks. Blue Jackets on Sirius 211 XM222 and Internet 907. Blue Jackets on Sirius 211 XM222 and Internet 927. Sharks on Internet 942. 7 p.m., Tampa Bay Lightning face the Anaheim Ducks. Lightning on Sirius 209 XM220 and Internet 945. Ducks on Internet 920. 7 p.m., Toronto Maple Leafs take on the New Jersey Devils. Leafs on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 946. Devils on Internet 936. 7 p.m., Florida Panthers face the Detroit Red Wings. Panthers on Sirius 210, XM221 and Internet 931. Red Wings on Internet 929. 7 p.m., Ottawa Senators face the Washington Capitals. Senators on Sirius 208, XM219 and Internet 939. Capitals on Internet 950. 7:30 p.m., New York Islanders face the Philadelphia Flyers. Islanders on XM223 Internet 937. Flyers on Internet 940. 8 p.m., Nashville Predators take on the Chicago Blackhawks. Predators on XM202 Internet 935. Blackhawks on Internet 925. 8 p.m., Winnipeg Jets face the Seattle Kraken. Jets on Sirius and XM channels 167, Internet 951. Kraken on Internet 943. 8 p.m., St. Louis Blues face the Calgary Flames. Blues on XM201, Internet 944. Flames on Internet 923. 8 p.m., Dallas Stars face the Montreal Canadiens. Stars on XM203, Internet 928. Canadiens on Internet 934. 9 p.m., Utah Hockey Club take on the New York Rangers. Utah on XM204, Internet 947. Rangers on Internet 938. 9:30 p.m., Colorado Avalanche take on the Edmonton Oilers. Avalanche on XM205, Internet 926. Oilers on Internet 930. 10 p.m., Vancouver Canucks take on the LA Kings. Canucks on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 948, Kings on Internet 932.
Sirius XM NFL Radio Channel 88 brings you expert analysis from former players, coaches, and executives, plus reaction to all the latest news on the only 24/7 station dedicated to the National Football League.
New York Rangers legend and Hockey Hall of Famer Mark Messier joined Scott Laughlin on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91, to share what it was like to play in the 1994 finals with the New York Rangers, as well as ending the 54-year drought for the franchise and how that team represented what a hockey team is all about.
Well, look, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about 1994 as well. You mentioned Mike Keenan. We spoke with him in studio a couple of weeks ago. He still speaks so highly of you and of that run. So take us back to ending the 54-year drought. In Game 7, you get a power play goal. You shovel a puck underneath of Kirk McLean. Stands up as the game winner, as it turns out. So take us back to that hot, steamy night. What was it, June 14th of 1994 at the Garden in New York?
Just, I guess just starting, going to the rink, trying to keep your same routine. Brian Leach and I would always drive together down through Times Square, down Broadway 7th Avenue to take a right-hand turn on 33rd Street. And